Other things we got to clean up from the playoffs. Connor McDavid's a bum.
Wrong.
Did he win?
Is he playing? Is he still playing?
Is he on the Knights?
On today's Part in My Take, we have a twofer for the people. We have Ryan Whitney previewing the Stanley Cup final, talking a little hockey. And then we have our good friend Paul Rabil in studio. PLL is back. We went to the negotiating table with him. Maybe some rule changes for lacrosse coming up. Maybe a big interview that he promised us. We're going to talk NBA Finals Game 1. We are going to do a review of Bloodsport, the greatest movie ever that Max didn't like. Very excited for that. I think we nailed our first movie review. We've done them before, but that was our first official movie review. Next week, we're going to do 38 at the Garden, so go check that out. And we have Fyre Fest of the Week. And by the way, Bloodsport, the reason why we're reviewing it, because we have Max. Max.com is a wonderful sponsor of us. And they have all the movie catalog that you're looking for. Bloodsport is in there. Succession, which we talked about last week. 38 at the Garden, which we're going to review next Friday. It's all on Max. Let's talk about the most exciting streaming destination with the best in entertainment. Of course, we're talking about Max. They have shows and movies from the Food Network, TLC, the DC Universe, Adult Swim, and more. The new Shazam movie, Rick and Morty, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. They're all on Max. And, of course, all the HBO originals like Succession, Winning Time, and The Last of Us. I actually just finished Barry as well. I highly recommend it. They've got something for every mood, and plans start as little as $9.99 a month. We will be doing movie reviews for the next 6 weeks, all movies from Max.com. So get involved. Subscription required. Visit Max.com. Max, the one to watch. Sign up now at Max.com. Get involved with our movie reviews. Bloodsport coming up after the interviews. It's all on Max.com. It is a must-have for anyone who loves movies, shows, reality shows, everything. Unscripted. It has it all. Max.com. Sign up now at Max.com. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take. Today is Friday, June 2nd, and it's Nuggets in 4.
Nugs in 4.5.
The Denver Nuggets, it was closer than it looked final score-wise, 104-93, but they had control of this game from the first tip. I think we kind of expected it, though. The Heat, obviously coming off a 7-game series, going straight from Boston to high altitude, probably not the best setup for a team to face a team that's been resting for like a week and a half, but that was bad news for the Heat.
So it's interesting you brought up the altitude, Big Cat, because the Heat stunk at shooting tonight. They had a bad performance. Max Strus, 0 for 9.
0 for 9 from 3, 0 for 10, and Caleb Martin was also 1 for 7.
Yeah. So
and Duncan Robinson 1 for 6. Basically, everyone who was good against the Celtics turned into a pumpkin against the Nuggets.
So I went deep. I went knuckles deep in some research studies. Billy football style. I dug deep into some actual journalistic papers here.
Okay.
There's a report or a study that was done by Harvard University. Ever heard of it? They compared how visiting players shoot free throws from and away at Denver. And outside the Pepsi Center, they shoot 76%. At high elevation, they shoot 74.5%, which is a big difference in free throw percentage. Now you look at a three-point shot. I have to imagine that if you're the Heat, coming from sea level, ball flies a little bit further. Max Strus missed a lot of shots off the back iron. I give the MVP so far to Air.
Yeah, to Air, not just a movie. It's funny you bring up free throws because the Heat actually were 100% from the free throw line tonight. 2 for 2.
Yeah.
2 for 2, the lowest amount of free throws attempted in an NBA Finals game. It was just bad news for the Heat. I still think the Heat are going to be heard from in this series. I don't actually think Nugs in 4, but the fact that Jokic had a triple-double, and it was the most casual triple-double. There was a moment, I think, maybe start of the fourth, where he had 5 or 6 field goal attempts. He finished 8 for 12. He didn't even have to shoot, and the Nuggets were able to dominate that game. And Jamal Murray continues his stretch of being the best. Is he the best Robin? going right now.
He's definitely, if he was on a team with anybody except for Jokic, everybody would talk about him being the Finals MVP.
Yeah,
because he's awesome. What do you have? He had 6 rebounds. I know he had 10 assists.
Yeah, that sucked.
That was bad. I bet him not to get a triple-double or double-double.
double-double,
It's whatever. But I do also have a bet on him to win Finals MVP, just in case he goes off a couple games at plus 1,000. But he is the best Robin. He's the best. I would say that they have the best 1, 2, 3 in the NBA right now.
Yeah, the 4 out of 5 starters in double digits. It's like this is what the Nuggets have been all playoffs, especially at home. Yet to lose a game at home in the playoffs. And it's not just Jokic; everyone else is chipping in. It's what we've seen, like when we talked to Mike Malone last week or this week. Sorry, my weeks are all fucked up because isn't that crazy? Just a side tangent. You get one day off, and you just lose concept of time.
Yeah,
Memorial Day fucks me up every year.
I was preparing for Hot Seat Cool Throne today.
Yeah, it's just like it happens, and I don't know what day it is for the entire week.
Yeah, 1 3-day weekend screws us up. That's why Hank is always gone from the show.
He's always yawning. Yeah. Oh wait, Hank, what do you think about that?
That was a pretty good Hank impression. That was Max. Good job, Max.
Yeah, no, but
thanks for being here, Max.
The Nuggets, the crazy thing about the Nuggets is like Jokic has always been this good, or at least for the last 4 or 5 years. It's the fact that everyone around him has been either injured or not great, and now everyone around him is healthy and great. And so Jokic is still doing the same thing. Like he's been this dominant and this great for an extended period of time, but now he has a full team around him, and they're seemingly unstoppable.
I would say that watching a big man that can pass like Jokic is maybe my favorite thing in all of sports to watch.
Yeah.
I'm thinking through every single league. A quarterback with just a cannon arm, that's fun to watch. A great kick returner like Dante Hall, Devin Hester.
Yep.
Those guys. But I actually think that watching a big man that is just throwing no-look passes over his head from the post, down low, I think that's my favorite thing in all sports to see.
We might have to do maybe put this on the Mount Rushmore list.
I mean,
a lefty home run.
Lefty home run is good.
Lefty home run is sweet.
You like like Mo Vaughn,
Schwarber. I mean, just
Barry
Schwarber
Bonds.
home runs just are the best.
Yeah, but I mean,
Griffey,
a big chunky dude.
Yeah,
that has sick no-look passes. That's got to be number 1.
Yeah,
for me.
no, it's very high up there.
So we were watching the game and
an outfielder with a cannon for an arm.
Yeah,
that's like a guy who can throw from right field to third.
Yeah,
with no bounce. That's pretty fucking sick.
Vladimir Guerrero, Puig for a couple of years.
I'll just watch those and just be like, holy fuck.
Those are fun to watch. We were talking to Ebo, works here at Barstool, and he was telling me that Jokic was an awesome water polo player.
Believe it.
And it makes a ton of sense when you watch his passing. Like, he passes like a water polo guy.
Yeah.
And given his love of horses, he's probably the best 2 polo sport player in the world.
I'd agree. Yeah.
And basketball player.
And the best basketball player in the world. It does feel, and again, this is obviously just after game 1, so we will overreact a little bit, but it feels like this is the crowning of Jokic as the best player in the entire world. In the universe.
Universe.
Yeah, he's universally the best basketball player.
He's the universal MVP.
Yeah.
Not just limited to the United States.
Now, I did have a question for Hank.
I'll field it for him.
Well, no, we have Celtics fan Hank sitting right there. He did have a tweet that said that he was depressed about how the series against the Heat ended, and that he was convinced that the Celtics would have beaten the Nuggets in 5.
Yeah, I mean, it is all about matchups in the NBA. The Celtics are probably the best team in the NBA if you really look at it position by position, player by player.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we ran into a Heat team that was getting frisky at the right time, but we're still a better team. We're a better team than Nuggets. We're a better team than everyone.
If that was a 9-game series, you guys win that.
Hell yeah.
You go on paper, you're the champs.
Yeah.
You win it in 8.
That's what, spot the lie. Fact or fiction? Fact or fiction?
Fact. That's better team than everyone.
Denver's
Thank you, Hank.
Denver's just straight up bigger. They're just bigger boys.
No. I mean, Aaron Gordon, like his defense and what he adds to that team is crazy, because they do have, and Michael Porter Jr.'s tall. Like, they have just big guys.
Yeah, it's funny watching the Heat try to match up against the big guys, because they have Bam, who's a big guy asterisk. He's big guy adjacent.
Yeah.
He's got long arms, but he's not super tall. He's not a true center. Then they've got Cody Zeller, who looks like he's a flea trying to ride a buffalo when he's trying to defend Nikola Jokic. And then after that, they don't really have anybody else.
And the problem the Heat have in this series, and like, who knows? maybe they'll start. Heat culture will rise back up. I do think that tonight, like, there was very little chance the Heat could pull off a win tonight. Sunday night will be very, like, they'll throw as much as they have at the Nuggets, some adjustments. But the Heat's zone defense, which was great against the Celtics, Jokic was built in a lab to beat a zone. Like, you have a big man who can stand at the foul line and can pass everywhere and can also shoot and like, he can do everything. You can't, there's, like, if the zone collapses on him, he will always find the open player. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be interesting to see what Spo comes up with. Do you think the Heat? We never made predictions, but I was thinking Nuggets in 6.
Nuggets in 5.
5.
Nuggets in 5.
Five might feel, because when I was thinking 6, the problem with 6 is that would be the Nuggets winning in Miami, where I feel like the Nuggets. Yeah, 5 feels right.
5. I think that they'll get one Jimmy Butler game. He'll go off for like 45-50.
Game 3,
yeah.
Nuggets win game 4, then they close out in game 5.
Then they close it out at home. Yeah,
this won't age poorly. This won't.
Heat culture's dead. We can say heat culture's dead.
Heat culture's officially dead. Yeah, this will be replayed. I hope we make the Miami Heat hype tape
now
when they win this series in 6.
We're also going to have a completely opposite take on failure when the Heat lose the finals. This is a great season for the Heat. This is like
incredible.
They won the championship.
Well, I said it during the stream, but there is a small part of me, you know, if you're a sports fan and you're always having to, like, slip and slide through different arguments and try to figure out what your angles are. I wouldn't hate it if Spo, like, ripped off like 5 or 6 titles in the next 10 years, because I absolutely would say that he's the greatest NBA coach of all time, and that's why LeBron won those titles.
Yeah.
So there is definitely a part of me that's a big Spo fan, being like, go Spo, go. Win a bunch of titles without LeBron, and then I will say that you're the GOAT.
Yeah, I mean, Phil Jackson, he had Michael Jordan.
Yeah, right.
Okay? Anybody can win a title with Michael Jordan. Who did Spo have?
All Spo needs to do is win, like 8 more? What did Phil end up with? He ended up with 11? Yeah, 11.
That's just a ridiculous amount of rings to have.
11.
We should put more respect on Phil Jackson's name.
Spo needs to win 9 more. If he can win 9 more titles, then we could just say he's the greatest, and that's why LeBron won.
No, but you can also play this game with Spo, where if the Heat keep getting to the finals with undrafted guys, and even if they don't win, you can just be like, this is a bigger accomplishment, making it this far through the Eastern Conference playoffs, than it was winning 6 titles with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen on your team.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I mean, this is, let's just say it right now, the best coaching job we've ever seen.
Of all time.
This playoff run, win the title or not, best coaching job we've ever seen.
Incredible job.
Did you see a stat, by the way, that we missed that we have to call out? Pat Riley has been part of 25% of all NBA finals. That's insane.
That's nuts, yeah.
That's insane.
I love the shot whenever they show him in the crowd, and it's him with Alonzo Mourning.
Yeah.
And they're just sitting there looking like gangsters, ready to take some people out on the court.
Yeah.
Pat Riley is a very underrated basketball guy because he's been behind the scenes for so long that he doesn't really give that many press conferences anymore. We don't get to see him in action on the sidelines. Everybody thought, actually, for a while, that he was calling the shots, that he was essentially coaching the team.
Yeah.
When Spo took over, and Spo was his like figurehead, his puppet. But no, Pat Riley turns out he culture?
He is. Dude, so 19 NBA finals for him. 3 as a player, 10 as a coach, 6 as an executive. That's 25% of NBA finals in league history. That's insane. And it also is, not to bring up a bad thing for Knicks fans, it's a great what if. Because Pat Riley obviously leaves New York. Like, what if he had just become, he went upstairs in New York? Obviously, James Dolan is the biggest issue there, but, like, he is the culture.
Yeah. And
he went to Heat and made that culture.
Yeah, they're going to get one at least. I'm still confident.
Spo?
Nugs in 5.
Oh, no. Oh, they're talking about Spo's going to get 10 more.
10 more titles?
10 more titles. Yeah. Greatest coach of all time. Not even close.
I like squatting on that take just to protect. This comes purely out of defending Michael Jordan.
I mean, exactly. And LeBron James, like, if you hit him with truth serum, he'd be like, I barely knew how to play basketball before I met Spo. Mm-hmm. I think we can all agree on
What did he win in college?
Nothing.
So think about it this way. Michael Jordan in college got shut down by Dan Dockich.
Yes.
Then in the NBA, rattles off 6.
Yeah. Also won a title in college, though.
I'm overlooking that.
Yeah. All right, one other thing before we get to our interviews. Adam Silver just teasing us all with Ja Morant. Wild tease where he said they released a statement saying, "We've uncovered a fair amount of additional information. We probably could have brought it to a head by now, but we made the decision that it would be unfair to these players and these teams to announce that decision in the middle of this series." So he's announcing that there is a decision, but it won't be announced yet.
A fair amount of information. How many more Instagram
more handguns?
There's more Instagram stories and guns.
Yes, I would actually imagine that he probably like got put onto just like a hype tape of Ja Morant with guns.
Well, so would it be worse if it was multiple guns? I think it'd be way worse if it was multiple. If he just had one gun that he really loved that he couldn't give up.
It's like his binky.
Yeah, you get that. It's an emotional support gun. Exactly. Yeah. Like that's totally understandable. If you have a different gun, like people have different hats that they take out. They like look at themselves in the mirror. No, I'm going to take the 45 today.
Yeah.
Today that's more like a 50 cal.
But this is like, so he's not. We don't want to take away from the NBA Finals, but we're going to announce that something severe is going to happen after the NBA Finals. So please, just don't talk about it during the NBA Finals, even though it's very vague right now and leaves it open to interpretation where everyone can talk about it for the next 2 weeks.
I know what this is. This is the NBA promoting Oppenheimer. Ja Morant is going to be an Oppenheimer building an atomic bomb.
He's in the movie.
Yeah.
That'd be great if Ja Morant was in the background with just a gun.
Yeah. No, with the bomb.
Yeah.
He's on the plane. He's going live on the Enola Gay.
And he wasn't actually cast in the movie. He just happened to be where they were filming.
Yeah, he's like, I brought my bomb.
Yeah. Oh, I heard you guys had a bomb movie. Let me go to my car real quick.
I do think the NBA Finals is very similar to Oppenheimer. We both know how it's going to end.
Yes.
The history has already been written.
Yes, that is true.
The Nuggets will win.
The Nuggets.
I will retire from this podcast.
No, don't do that.
At some point.
Yeah.
At some point.
Okay. That was scary. That my life flashed before my eyes.
I will retire.
How quick do you think Billy would be like, "Oh, actually, I can move to Chicago"?
He's already got this clip right now.
Weird. I now I'm ready to go. Bags are packed.
I tell you what, I will not retire, no matter what you guys say, but I will give up all my integrity. I will relinquish
That's fair.
my integrity
That's
as a sports journalist.
That's fair.
As a dean of the Medill School of Journalism, I will give that all up, and you
won't know ball.
Yeah, I won't know ball. Officially, ball not knower if the Nuggets don't win.
Okay, that will
hold me to it. Yeah. Accountability.
Oh, I will. Anytime you say anything, I just be like, but you don't know ball.
I'll get a ball removed.
Oh, okay.
I'll get a ball removed cosmetically.
Right.
Yeah. If the
you
Nuggets
get a testicle removed.
Yep.
Okay. That's a really dumb bet.
It's not a bet. It's just a fact.
Well,
and that's
yourself.
how confident I am.
Yeah, with yourself.
I shouldn't have said that.
No, definitely not.
You get carried away sometimes on this show.
Yeah,
there's something about you sit down in the studio and you say stuff and then you instantly regret it. And then Big Cat tells you, wait, be careful, don't say that. And then you're like, okay, good point, Big Cat. And then you catch your breath and you say something dumber.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes the tattoo bet kind of pale in comparison now. That tattoo bet.
Maybe I'll get a tattoo of just one ball.
No, you know what you should do? All right, let's clean this up. You're not going to get a testicle removed. If the Heat do win this series, you have to get a tattoo of a basketball and then get it removed.
Okay, yeah. I'll get a ball removed. Okay.
That's fair.
Yep.
That's totally fair. Just the pain of just getting a tattoo for like 1 week and then immediately getting it removed.
I got to let it set in for a while. I got to show it off.
Yeah.
If I get the ball in my bicep, I got to get the prayer hands underneath it too. That's always a winning combo.
We should actually get all of the balls and puck on our somewhere on our body, and then when you fuck up with a take, you get it removed.
You gotta take one of the balls off.
We're taking it removed.
That's a great idea.
Where we're just everyone who's on Pardon My Take has to have the same tattoo. Just a soccer ball.
And we see who the smartest is.
Yeah,
by
basketball, football, baseball. We'll throw in tennis. Fuck it. I'll have that removed like in 2 seconds. Actually, no, I know the most about tennis. Djokovic is the GOAT, and I've been right all along.
Yeah, there's so many balls out there you could get.
Yeah.
Rugby ball.
Billiards.
Ooh, you'd have to get all of them.
Yeah, you'd have to collect all the balls.
all the
billiards ball. Bocce.
Bowling ball,
yeah.
I think you have to earn the balls, and then you have the right to remove them.
The Buckeye stickers.
Yes.
Or a general.
Yeah, okay.
I'm a 5-ball general.
I'm in.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
Just being like the cutest little tattoo on your ankle. We do it ankle tattoos. Like, what sorority are you in?
I got tramp
the
stamps.
Balls. Yeah.
Of all balls.
All right.
I might just get one of my balls tattooed to look like a basketball.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Get the lines. Yeah. Okay. Let's get to our interviews. We got two great ones. We got Ryan Whitney and Paul Rabil. Before we do Ryan Whitney, this episode of Pardon My Take is presented by Duracell. Few sports are more technically demanding than auto racing. Because of those standards, Williams Racing only trusts one brand of disposable batteries, Duracell. You may not think you need the same batteries to help power Williams Racing until you do. That's because Duracell is engineered for more and a proud partner of Williams Racing. And pardon my take, I'm a Duracell man. I need Duracell batteries in my house all the time, all the kids' toys, all the remotes. Duracell always is there for me. It's the trustiest, best battery out there. Learn more at Duracell.com. If you are listening to this show, you better be a Duracell person. Tweet us those Duracells. Come on, let's go. This podcast is powered by Duracell. Go to Duracell.com. Also check out Williams Racing. We got the Las Vegas one coming up in the fall, which maybe we'll be at. So check it out. This podcast is sponsored and runs on Duracell, engineered for more, and a proud partner of Williams Racing. And pardon my take, go to Duracell.com. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. It's so easy to get caught up in what everyone else needs from you and never take a moment to think about what you need from yourself. When we spend all of our time giving, it can leave us feeling stretched, thin, and burned out, running on empty. Therapy is an opportunity to intentionally put yourself first. It can give you the tools to find more balance, clarity, and intention in your life so you can keep supporting others while also thriving as an individual. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. There's been times when you feel worn down, maybe a little off. Well, guess what? Talking to someone will help that situation. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Ready to try it out? Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Find more balance with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/PMT to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/PMT. You take care of a lot of things in your life. Take care of your car, take care of your lawn, take care of your, maybe go to the gym, take care of your body. Got to take care of your mentals. It's important to talk to someone. BetterHelp makes it super easy, fully online, to talk to a licensed therapist today. So visit BetterHelp.com/PMT to get 10% off your first month. BetterHelp, HELP.com/PMT. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Okay, here he is, Ryan Whitney. Okay, we now welcome on, I think we actually found this out, Whit. You are our most recurring guest in
number one
history. I think so. I think you were officially.
Wow.
We have to do the analytics, but you were like second or third 4 years ago, and you come on like 3 or 4 times a year, so you have to have like gone past everyone else.
So you're just going on 2 or 3 years ago. I mean, I don't know. That doesn't sound very analytics to me. It sounds like you're just guessing, but I'll take it.
Yeah, I think you're number one.
You might be. Ever since Titus came on the show and said all those nasty things and we had to stop inviting him on, you
just gave him his own show.
Yeah, we gave him his own show, so we didn't have to have him on anymore. All right, so it is Ryan Whitney, our number one recurring guest. We wanted to have him on because we have been talking a lot of basketball. A lot of basketball talk on PMT. We got to talk some hockey. Sell us on this Stanley Cup final because not us. We're puckheads. You know that. But from the average fan outside who maybe isn't the biggest hockey fan, they're like, Florida and Vegas, who the fuck cares?
Well, I feel like those people are probably too dumb to get through to at this point. Like if based on whoever the teams are, you're not even going to watch. I mean, it's kind of hard to get those people's attention and have them give it a legit chance. But for any hockey fan that's enjoying watching the highest level playing for the best trophy that's the hardest to win in sports, you know that these two teams should produce pretty entertaining games. And they're both very similar. The fact that neither one of them has a Stanley Cup, I think, is kind of exciting, especially with all the teams that we've had kind of run through the past, what seems like 10, 15 years with the Penguins, Blackhawks, Kings, etc., to win multiple titles. But the hockey's going to be good because they're mean, they're physical, and they're kind of proving that as much as the game's changing throughout the regular season with skill and lack of physicality and sometimes boring regular season games because of maybe not the fights and the things that the fans really did enjoy, the playoffs are still a man's game, for a lack of a better term. It's like it's two teams that basically beat the shit out of whoever they play against. They've just bullied every team they've played against. Vegas has huge D, so it's old school hockey. It's hard to get to the net. Florida's got the best American-born player right now in Matthew Tkachuk, so that should hopefully get some eyeballs. And Eichel as well is just like high-level American players. So those are the two stars for each team. So there's a bunch of great storylines for hockey fans and fringe fans. But people who are just saying, I'm not watching based on, I don't really care about these two teams, they're out of the question.
Yeah, it's the Stanley Cup final. It's like you said, it's the best trophy in sports. For those of us who've been lucky enough to hoist the Stanley Cup, it's a time that you won't forget and something that your entire town won't forget. And if you look at the Panthers, I didn't realize this, but at the end of the season, they almost didn't even get into the playoffs. They had to have the Pittsburgh Penguins lose on the last day of the regular season for them to sneak in, which is a crazy run. So, yeah, kind of to your point of the regular season doesn't mean as much. You guys are turning into the NBA, actually.
Ooh.
You guys are doing load management in the regular season and just get into the playoffs, and then you can flip the switch. You don't even have to watch hockey until February.
No load management. It's the game has changed. The men above, the men in the suits have changed the game. There's just a less physical factor, a smaller physical factor to hockey now, which is also a good thing. I mean, you're seeing like smaller players become superstars. You're seeing the fastest the game's ever been. So there's definitely some positive sides to it. But for people who like old school hockey, the regular season's changed. But for you to say it's the players doing the load management, no. They're just not the type of players to get in the league anymore, the physical ones.
Listen, I will watch every second of the Stanley Cup final because how can you not? It's the best. But you have to – listen, you are an ambassador of the game. You got to understand, if you can change one mind, you've done your job. So, like, pitching this Stanley Cup final is important. Would you say, though, Whit, these playoffs have not been the best because second and third round – sweeps. I know the Stars made a little bit of a series of that, but then got absolutely dump trucked in Game 6. Like, it feels like it's out. The first round was exceptional, and then the last two rounds have not maybe been up to fully par for the Stanley Cup playoffs.
No doubt. And unfortunately, I mean, people always say, and I agree, that the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs are like the best postseason around. And the first round, like now, it's the past few years, especially more than ever, have become must-watch TV, must-watch games. They're out of control. The action, the game's going 7. It's crazy. There's 4 games a night, it seems like. But I think guys are just going so hard, and just the first round is such a battle that they're kind of gassed out the second round. The second round seems to be the worst round a lot. And then the conference finals, it rears back up. This year was disappointing, right? You got a sweep on one side. You got what is it? What was it? A gentleman? No,
it wasn't a sweep. It wasn't a sweep. We should just.
Sorry, Rod Brindamore said.
Rod Brindamore did say it was not a sweep. It shows it's a sweep,
quote.
But it wasn't a sweep. Loser talk. But yeah, it was. They weren't the most competitive conference finals.
But I think that the Cup will be awesome. I think the Cup, Vegas is the favorite, and I kind of understand why. But if Bobrovsky's playing like this, like Sergei Bobrovsky, who I think Charles Barkley called him Sergei Bobovcha, something hilarious on TNT. He's a big hockey guy, though. But if he continues to play like this, I don't know if they can be beat. I don't think they can be beat. I think he's 11-2 in the playoffs with this insane save percentage and goals against, and he's in one of those zones. That's the one thing I'm worried about for the Panthers is I think if they could have chose once they swept or once they finished the conference finals, they probably would have said, we'll play in 2 nights.
Right.
We'll play the third night. Give us 2 nights off because of what they had going. So 10 days off. I think it's the second longest break between conference final and cup final. That could kind of maybe kill what they had going. I don't think it will, but that's a possibility.
So wait, you actually you played in the Stanley Cup in 2008, right?
Yes.
You were on the Penguins. Did you guys win?
No, we lost. Thanks.
Okay, what's that like? Because you always hear about the glory afterwards. You know, drinking out of the cup, that whole thing. It's the best trophy, as you said. When you guys lost the Stanley Cup, what was the mood like after the game in the locker room?
I mean, am I supposed to go after this and just get like run over by a car too? Like this is just you're killing me here. But it's very, very emotional. I just remember in the room, like everyone's just kind of breaking down at different moments, and you're just so close to your dream. We lost at home too, We won in triple overtime, or maybe double overtime, game 5. We were down with a minute to go. Max Talbot tied it up. We won in overtime, double overtime. And then we're going back. We're like, all right, we got this series. Let's go. 3-2, going home. And Detroit put on a clinic. And then just to hear them celebrating, and it was soul crushing. I mean, it was definitely the worst loss of my career, and that's including the gold medal game. I think just that's a quick tournament, and that's heartbreaking as well. So I've been on some special losers, but you just work all year, and we ran through the Eastern Conference that year. I think we swept Ottawa. We beat the Rangers in 5 and Philly in 5. I think we had 14 games to get to the Cup final, and then Detroit was still playing Dallas when we were done, and they ran through them, and they had a legendary team. So they ended up getting them the next year. After Hossa even left Pittsburgh to go to Detroit. I was gonzo. That's probably why they won. They got Chris Kunitz. But I do remember just being so crushed. And granted, the next night you're hanging out with the guys and you're not over it, but still appreciate what a great run it was. But right, the immediate aftermath, it was crushing.
Wait, so you had a rest versus rust, right? Like you guys were off for an extended
it wasn't that
period of
bad.
time?
We didn't, because I think they won in 6 and we won in 5. So it wasn't like this. I think it was maybe 6 days. But I don't think against Detroit that year, it could have been a quick break or a long break. They were just that loaded and ready to win another one.
And you had a foot injury too. So like right after the season's over, you were like, hey, maybe it's time for some time off, just so you guys know I had a foot injury that whole time.
Yeah. I just want to be like an NBAer and come out and just let you guys know what I've been struggling with this entire time.
getting surgery. Now wait, so what is it like though? Like 6 days off when you're on a run like that? Like
it's so fun. And I'm sure it's changed, but Biz always talks about the guys in LA he knows when they won their cups. They were finishing out series early too, and we were through the East, as I mentioned, and we were ripping it up. Like we're having bangers, just unreal nights at the bar. Everyone's getting after it because you knew, and then you get back in the rink the next day, maybe you'd skate the next day. And I just remember, going through that run and having the break towards the Cup final. We definitely celebrated after we won the East. And then it's just the excitement. You're on the ice every day. It's June. It's like the whole hockey world's watching you. There's 100 reporters at every practice leading up to it, and the excitement leading in. And then I'll never forget, we started in Detroit, game 1, and got out there for warm-ups, and the place is like, I don't know, 80% full. The music's rocking, and there's the Stanley Cup final logo in the middle of the ice. And throughout the playoffs, each series and round feels important, but that was like on steroids. It was just the vibe and the energy in the building. You could feel it. Like, this is different than those other 3. I'll never forget that.
And we
didn't score a goal in game 1 or game 2. We got rolled.
Too much rest.
Yeah, we talked about the playoff speed last time you were on the show, about the difference. Is there a difference even between playoff speed and Stanley Cup final speed?
Yeah, I think so. Or maybe it was the fact that Detroit was that good and far and away the best team we'd faced, and they were that fast with and without the puck. But yeah, it was a jump up, which kind of leads me to, like, the first round's nuts, like I mentioned, and then the grind of the playoffs, second round, third round, they're a little tired. This year wasn't great, but then you're always right back fired up. Like, this is now it, 4 games away.
What's your official pick? We're a Golden Knights podcast, by the way.
I picked Florida. Which is great for Vegas because I haven't picked Florida one series. I picked Boston, I picked Toronto, I picked Carolina. But now I'm at the point of like, all right, something special is going on here, and the goaltending and like what Kachuk's doing, it's just leading me to think they'll somehow get it done. But I was open on Chicklets. I'm not confident at all.
Okay. All right. So other things we got to clean up from the playoffs. Connor McDavid's a bum.
Wrong.
Did he win?
Is he playing? Is he still playing?
Is he on the Knights?
He ran into a great Vegas Golden Knights team. He was very adamant that next season, Stanley Cup, or it's a complete failure again. I'm going to keep backing the best player I've ever seen. So I don't know what you want me to tell you. He's not a bum. They need some more guys around him.
I want him to get some hardware.
I think you said he was the best player in any sport in the world.
Yeah, and he's got zero rings.
0 Stanley Cup Finals.
So who's the best player in the NBA?
Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, he's about to get a
Why?
title.
I thought he didn't win MVP, did he?
Only because he won so many that they got tired of giving it to him.
Yeah, he won 2 the last 3 years.
All right, so if he wins it, then you can give him the best athlete in the world. But you guys just troll my McDavid comments, and you're always coming after him. And he's breaking records, and he's doing things that haven't been done in about 40 years in the NHL. He's joining the list of Gretzky, Lemieux every season. He's hopping on these lists with them. I don't know what you want me to tell you. You need 20 guys to win a Stanley Cup.
You know what list he should hop on? Is the one where they engrave it on that big cup.
Hey, if his career ends and he doesn't win a Stanley Cup, I will bow down to you guys as being incorrect in terms of Connor McDavid's greatness. But I'm not jumping off the fence before the guy's 28 years old or whatever he is. I think he's 27.
Well, I bet on him. I told you I bet on them. This is a proven
cry me
year.
a river. You bet on everyone, you loser.
I'm going to bet on him again next year.
I'm very much looking forward to Whitney actually bowing down to us. That's going to be
He's 26. He's 26.
Okay, so he's getting a little old.
Yeah.
We're going to get back to Ryan Whitney in a second. Before we do, he's brought to you by Simply Safe. If you've listened to the show before, you've probably heard me talk about Simply Safe. You know that they were named Best Home Security of 2023 by U.S. News & World Report, so they're probably resting on their laurels, right? Well, no, definitely not. They're always innovating, always working on the next thing to help keep you and your loved ones safe 24/7, like their new 2-in-1 smoke and CO detector. It's next-generation hazard detection. It distinguishes between fire and cooking smoke, so your home is protected and you get fewer false alarms. That's awesome. That's a great idea, because if you're like me, if you like to cook steak inside, things with a lot of smoke coming off it, you're sick of having to wave the kitchen towel over the smoke detector trying to get it to shut off, Simply Safe has helped solve that problem. With Simply Safe's 24/7 professional monitoring service, trained agents stand ready to respond in an emergency, dispatching police, firefighters, or EMTs to your door, even if you're away or can't be reached. Monitoring service costs under $1 a day, and their new smoke and CO detector sensor joins Simply Safe's comprehensive suite of advanced security cameras, sensors, and hazard detections. You get seamless whole home monitoring. Simply Safe can even be easy to set up yourself, or you can have a certified technician come out and set it up for you. There's no reason to wait. With financing through a firm, you can secure your home today, pay over time in installments that fit your budget. Right now, get 20% off your new system when you sign up for interactive monitoring. Visit simplysafe.com/PMT. That's simplysafe.com/PMT. There's no safe like Simply Safe. And now, here's more Ryan Whitney. When do you hit your prime as a hockey player?
I would say it's 25 to 29, those 4 years. So he's 1 year in.
He's got to do it quick, because then if he's in his 30s, we'll just say, well, it was other people on the team.
Yeah, he's ring chasing.
He was a long.
Or maybe then he'll get a real team around him as he's a little older, takes a little less money, and then he wins about 4. We'll see.
I'll admit, we are trolling. Watching him play hockey is incredible.
Like, I mean, can you not at least say,
no, I know.
Nuts.
But he still hasn't won anything. Like, I can't give him all the credit until he's a winner, but he is out of this world. Like, it is crazy watching him play, because he looks like he's playing a different sport than everyone else on ice.
That's my point. It's nuts. And yes, you're right. You got to win a title to be considered the best of all time, or one of them. But watching him, like, night in and night out, he's just, it looks like a different league. It looks like an alien on the ice. Like, you think the TV's on fast forward. He's cutting back, cutting in. He's like leading the league in goals this year. My heart rate's going up, guys.
All right, so throwing a Zin, that will help it.
I need one of those Zin 12s you got from Qatar.
Nines.
The nines.
They're powerful.
The market over here, it's like people are probably jonesing for 9s or 12s.
Nines.
If you take one of those, you just start instantly sweating.
And I got the
great
hiccups.
experience.
I get the hiccups when I throw 2 of those.
Do you ever get a package that's like must have been like mismanaged at the lab and it just cripples you? I'm like, what the hell is that?
You know what I like to do, Whit? I like to play Zin Roulette, where I take one of the 9s and then I mix it in with a bunch of 3s, and then I never know when I'm going to get the 9.
I like that.
Yeah, it keeps you fresh a little bit. You were talking a second ago about that big Vegas D. Talk to me about how big their D is.
Oh, funny, PFT, going with the dick joke. Ha, 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 ha.
Well, we're fans of Alec Martinez.
He's our guy.
He's big D.
Did you guys rip on him or something? And he's
we did a preview of the NHL playoffs, and it was maybe 30 seconds long, and we just said stupid things about each city. Then we found out that he's a listener, and he was disappointed that we trashed Vegas. So we're trying to make it up to him.
And I have ripped on him, because he did score that goal against the Blackhawks in 2014, the Game 7 overtime goal. But now that I know that he's a listener, we are a Golden Knights podcast. We're that easy.
Well, when we talk about the big D in Vegas, he's actually, I think, the smallest one. And they're all like, Petrangelo's 6'3". We got McNabb's about 6'6". Theodore's 6'4". He's sick. I think he's 6'1", like 210 still. And I believe I think he's the all-time record holder of block shots in the NHL. Like that could be completely incorrect.
I like that. We're gonna go with that.
Wait,
That's
wait. Memes just said fact checked it. Yes, correct.
Oh, nice. Okay, I got one right.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what they're blocking shots. They're hard to play against. So that's the big D I'm talking about, not where your mind's headed to the gutter, PFT.
I wasn't talking about that. What about the big P's? The Brooks Koepka's beloved P's. The
Your
Panthers.
guy's boy.
Yeah.
Your guy's boy.
I'm sorry for your loss. I know how much that pains you that Brooks is the best golfer in the world.
I shouldn't say it pains me. Like I'm amazed at how nasty he is at golf. I feel like you're the guys that he's like, oh, I'll be cool to them, and then he treats people that he doesn't feel like he needs to impress. Like
they just don't know.
So that's kind of my sense. But I've always been open that I've never met him.
Right.
So
you don't
I'm a
know
talking head dogging him when I dog him, but I've never once said anything about the golf game. He's an assassin. It's a joke out there. So watching domination, as I talk about McDavid, I enjoy. It seems to me, without knowing him,
No.
a little bit of a dickhead.
No, but I've said nice things about him, so there you
Because
go.
he blows you.
No.
Yes.
We blow him, idiot. Big difference.
Happy Pride.
We haven't gotten blown by him yet.
That big D.
We're still waiting. Yeah, no, you were
No,
so mad.
I didn't even know. I didn't know you had bet him. Great bet. Looking back, you'll never sniff that guy again at plus 2,500.
No,
like
he's
the
9
fact
to
it was
1
that
to win-
after what he did at the Masters.
Yeah.
I do want to find out. He won't share. I think he wouldn't. Maybe he would with you guys. You guys are all butt buddies. But he said he knew exactly what he messed up Sunday at Augusta, and it'll never happen again. But he won't share it.
It's the pace. No, he was doing it till. Did you watch him in the PGA Championship? He was walking extra slow so that no one ahead of him could hold him up.
Because he was bitching after the Masters about how slow guys were playing. Yeah.
And the way he plays so fast where he just gets up to the ball and hits it. So he was walking up the fairway in the PGA Championship, super deliberate and super slow, so that every time he got to the ball, he was ready to go.
That was what he didn't want to share with the other reporters.
Yeah, well, he didn't even share with us. I just figured it out because we know him so well. We're like,
yeah, you guys are so tight.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, as a golf nut, it's insane, and how fast he plays is pretty sick. But nobody calls the Panthers the Peas. I'm sorry.
Jake,
he's now called them the Peas, but. Unless people in Florida that are doing meth, living in the side of a crack house, like call them the Peas, I've never heard that in my life.
Jake released a shirt that is very political. It just says GOPS, so the GOPs. I think Jake's on this Zoom. Maybe one of the worst shirts we've ever released.
Go Peas. It's pretty simple.
Hey, Jake, had you ever heard them called that?
DeSantis T-shirt.
Before Brooks Koepka, no.
Okay, all right, and
So
you're
no.
from
Now
Florida.
a lot of people on Twitter are calling them that.
What?
It spreads. A lot of people are calling them that now.
No.
I don't. Big Cat, as Koepka's best friend, even you can admit
No, he was on one when he said peas. He was drunk.
I call him the Peas now.
No, it was during a PGA press conference.
Yeah, he said,
They
I'm going to
asked him
go
how
watch
he's
the
gonna
Peas.
get his mind right. He said, I'm going to go home and watch the Peas.
No,
Exactly.
he
He
said
was
it
drunk.
before.
He
He
was
said
drunk.
it before. That was the second time he called.
No,
them.
yeah, he said it during the tournament.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
he was drunk then too.
I'm calling him the Peas.
That's
if
the
Brooks
trick to
calls
winning
him
the
Peas, I'm going to call him the
PGA.
Peas.
Being ice cold, just get buckled.
Yeah, I mean, he came on our show drinking out of the Wanamaker on the show. It was awesome. But yeah, the peas, no one says the peas.
You know what? I do like their rat tradition, though, where they throw the rats onto the ice.
Yeah,
I looked it up.
Ariana Grande getting hit by a puck tradition.
Yeah, I like that. That's
It's
another
also
good
very
You know
cool.
the story of how the rats began?
Yeah, I was going to say it, but you can probably tell it better than I can.
Yeah, I mean, if you looked it up, I think I have it right. But in '96, when they ended up going to their first Stanley Cup final, they got swept by the Avs. But I think that year there was rats like in their old building or wherever they were, and one of the guys on the team actually killed one with a stick, and like the story grew. So all of a sudden on this playoff run, every goal they're chucking rats on the ice. They had to basically get rid of the tradition. I still think you can't do it after a goal scored. Maybe they've changed it maybe they'll change it for the finals. There's a legendary picture though of Patrick Waugh getting scored on him in the finals for Colorado, and he just like ducks back into the net as thousands of rats are coming
falling
down.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's,
yes.
it's great. So yeah, that's pretty much the story. It was Scott Mellenby. So it was in the locker room, and Mellenby grabbed a stick and hit it with a slap shot against the wall. And then later on that night, he scored 2 goals. So Van Beesbroek called it a rat trick. And then the next night, they started throwing rats on the ice. It is a cool tradition. I like that weird shit in NHL, like when they do it in Detroit with the octopi,
I
the
agree.
octopuses.
Yeah, it's the best.
agree.
All right, I have one last question for you, Whit. Rowback question, promo code TAKE, RHOBACK.com. Promo code TAKE, Q-Zips, joggers, polos, hoodies, shorts. Shorts are back. It is summer. Rowback, I just bought a pair. Didn't get them for free. Bought a pair. They are so comfortable. Rowback.com. Use promo code TAKE. My last question for you is, how long do you think it will take for Connor Bedard to be better than Connor McDavid? A year?
I can't,
2 years?
I don't think he can be. I'm going to say it.
Well, what if he wins a cup?
I mean, I could throw out names of guys who've won a cup. Like that doesn't necessarily mean you're a better player, but
Yeah. We're a ring podcast, okay?
Okay. Well, I don't know what. Okay, so I still don't think it can happen because looking at how bad the Blackhawks are, they look horrible.
But what if Connor Bedard's that good?
I think he's going to be incredible, and I think he'll be a future superstar. But I think McDavid's like once every 20 years type guy. I mean, I don't see if Bedard is better than McDavid, then it's only good for spit and chicklets because hockey's going to continue to grow. But I don't see it happening.
Then McDavid should have to change his first name if Bedard's
You
better.
think so?
There
Or
should only
maybe
be
one of them
Connor.
drops an N and just has one N in Connor.
Yeah. Whit, you have to acknowledge that saying that it's not possible to be better than Connor McDavid is that's wishful thinking on your part.
Yeah, grow the
It is
game,
it's possible.
dude. Wembanyama is going to be the best player of all time.
Yeah, I just think for what was discussed in terms of McDavid, I mean, they've both been talked about since they were like 13 years old in terms of like future upcoming prodigies in the game. But I just think McDavid is that good. I think this kid could be incredible. Like maybe right beneath him. I'm just sorry,
Okay.
boys. I don't agree with you. What do you want me to say?
I'll take right beneath him. That's fine.
You are saying that it's impossible to be better at hockey than Connor McDavid.
No, I'm not saying it's impossible. You asked me if he would be better, and I said I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm not saying someday there won't be somebody better than him, but
Well,
I
yeah, all
don't
they have
think
to
it'll
do-
be Connor Bedard.
I mean, if Kachuk wins a ring or if Alec Martinez wins another ring, he's better than Connor McDavid.
Yeah, Zach Whitecloud. If the Vegas Golden Knights win it, he's better than McDavid. I'm with you.
I have one last question for you. You guys, I don't know your schedule for Chicklets. Are you guys going back and forth from Miami to Vegas?
So Biz is at every game because TNT has the broadcast for the first time. They got the finals, which will be great. Their crew does an unreal job. So he'll be back and forth to every game. I think we'll be at game 4 in Florida and game 3 and 4 in Florida, I believe. I won't be down there for 3, and then game 5 in Vegas.
Okay, because I was gonna say if it's you, Biz, and RA,
Pray for my liver.
going back and forth between Vegas and Miami, that's like the Spit and Chicklets Ironman triathlon for you guys.
Yeah, if we see RA after that one, it's a miracle.
Who gets eliminated first, the Panthers, the Golden Knights, or RA? That's the question.
RA for
question.
sure.
That's a good
He
question.
ain't making it 4 games.
No, definitely not. All right, well, Whit, you are the best. Thank you so much for fitting us in, and
All right, boys.
we'll talk again soon.
All right, appreciate it. Great coming on, reoccurring guest.
Ryan Whitney is brought to you by Coors Light. That's right, the best beer to drink in the summertime. The mountains are so blue. I've got a cooler that's filled with Coors Light at my house. The mountains are bluer than ever. I love Coors Light. It's the best beer to drink when you're watching a daytime baseball game too.
Facts.
Out of all the tweets that we get with pictures of people at the ballpark, the ones that have blue mountains at Major League Baseball games during day games, those are the best mountains I've ever seen. That's the best beer in the world. You know the mountains on the bottles and the cans even turn blue when your beer's cold. When you're making time to chill, crack open a Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshment. It's made to chill. When you choose to chill, pair your plans with an ice-cold Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door, Drizzly, Instacart, or by going to CoorsLight.com/take. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. And now, here's Paul Rabil.
Okay, we now welcome on our very good friend, maybe like 5 or 6 time recurring guest. It is Paul Rabil. It is time for PLL Season 5.
That's right.
Which is crazy. We're in Season 5.
Hey, Paul, can you remind me real quick? Because I got a bad memory. Who won the last championship?
Right. That's where you want to start.
Well, I mean,
I know, I just forgot.
The last I talked to you, you were like, hey, what are your ring
satire,
sizes?
Right.
So, PFT, no, looks like we don't have rings yet.
Well, we were debating this because the rings are made, but
doesn't sound like they're
These
here.
are my favorite gifts where it's like,
owners
we have
before
them.
the players. Giving to the owners before the players would have caused a little bit of disruption.
Well, we paid
internally.
for them as
Right.
owners.
Yeah, but what type of precedent does that set? Owners are usually last to get it.
Do you watch sports? Because usually
Not that
what happens is they present the trophy to the owner right after the Super Bowl or
we
right
needed
after
to get
the AFC
we needed to get
Championship.
players in here,
Also-
or get you guys to Week 3 in Fairfield, or where we're giving the rings out.
Okay. We're also unprecedented owners and the team is unprecedented. It's the worst team of all time to win a championship.
I have a photo of the rings, early photo.
Okay, let me see. Is there a dog on it?
Yeah, of course.
Max won't want that one.
All right, there you go.
Ooh, those are icy.
I like that.
Yeah,
I
they're
like
icy.
them. I like
They're
them.
icy. They got shades of purple.
That's nice.
Obviously, you guys will have your name on them. I don't think we discussed numbers though, so I don't know that numbers are coming in. To be fair, for those listening, it took about 3 months to get Big Cat.
Yeah, you asked our ring sizes. And I was like, I think I just guessed.
Checking in. I'm a co-founder of the league and your guys admin.
Yeah.
I think I told Big Cat just normal.
Yeah. I was like,
I've got regular hands.
No, I think I said, I think the text I sent you, I was like, give me a 13 and PFT a 12.
Right.
So hopefully they fit. If they don't, they'll be necklaces.
We ordered 3 in different sizes, so you guys will just.
So Hank gets one? Hank's an owner.
Hank should get one.
Yeah, all right. So
I need to double check on that.
yeah, he should get one.
Did you forget about Hank?
Well, no, we just.
No, I've been
we were
talking to
getting-
RJ. I think
we were
it's in
getting
the works.
Dukes and Billy Football and Jake, and they
that's
were all
Dukes.
asking.
No,
What?
that
Dude, everyone's been
now,
asking.
Guess what? Now I don't want my ring.
It's
Dukes is getting one.
If we're just handing them out to everyone.
well, yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's your guys' checkbook.
Yeah, that's
so,
true. That's true.
you
That's
know.
true. All right, so PLL Season 5, we're very excited. You've been very busy, though, I feel like. So you bought MLL?
We bought MLL a couple of seasons ago.
Explain, but explain what's happened in the past year with PLL. You guys have been doing great, ESPN, which also happened last year or year before. Like, where's the PLL overall in your vision and what the expectations are at?
Yeah, because we were walking back here, and this is our 5th season, and ahead of our first season is when I first came on the show, and we were talking about the history of professional lacrosse. So there was a league that I played in, Major League Lacrosse. We ended up buying them in 2020, end of 2020, after the pandemic, and then integrated one of their teams, the Boston Cannons, to the Cannons. But the reason we say that is our 5th season, at least on air with ESPN, we call back to 25 years of pro lacrosse history, which is valuable because if we look at the NBA Finals going on, there's always comparison to players in the 80s versus players now and teams with X amount of championships. So we get to benefit from that.
Some are saying, not me, but some are saying you bought that just so that they could play Paul Rabil highlights.
That's what some are saying.
Some are saying that.
Some are saying that.
Because that just triggered in my brain. It's like,
Because I had
weird.
very few highlights in the PLL.
We have 25 years of history of when I was the best lacrosse player in the world. Interesting.
Yeah, and let's make sure that runs on air.
Yeah.
And I'm being booked for halftime segments.
Listen, I would do the same thing if I were you. So smart bots.
Let's do another.
I don't have a fucking podcast, all right? I need to be on halftime on
Look back at the
ABC.
top 10 goals in lacrosse history. Oh wow, number 7. Oh, that's me, number 5. 3.
I'm pretty sure I actually did this past weekend during the college Final Four. I was like, in 2007 when we played Duke, we were up 6-1. And we ended up winning that game. So this game reminds me of that one.
How many titles did you win at Johns Hopkins?
2.
2. That's nice. 3 not in the works.
We went to a third and we lost.
Oh,
Thanks
wait,
for
was that the
bringing
last
up.
one?
Yeah, it was the last one.
Shit.
Yeah.
Do you think about that one more than you do the wins?
Well, when I was playing, I would say I did. That's very athlete rhetoric.
Yeah.
For you to bring up. I think about the losses more than I do but it's also true.
Yeah.
Is it?
I mean, yeah. I watch you guys during the playoffs, both hockey and the NBA. You guys feel it, right? When
Yeah.
someone loses, you're like, motherfuck.
Yeah, Hank's probably best to answer that one because he's had 2 Game 7 losses against 8 seeds.
At any point in your career, have you lost in the semifinals?
I don't think so.
Never? Quarterfinals?
Quarters, yes. Quarters are we say are like the biggest game to win in college because you get onto this disproportionate stage of the Final Four.
Right.
There's like 60,000 people.
Yeah.
And you never touch that.
All right, after you lost, did you think, did you have any interest in the game afterwards? Like, did you care about watching the game afterwards? And 2, did you just think you would have beat the team that you would have been playing?
Yeah, you mean if you lose in the semis?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
even the quarters,
I
even
think
the
so.
next round. Like,
I mean,
are
there
you
was
going to be like, I'm going
crazy-
to watch this game, or are you like, fuck this, I have no interest whatsoever?
Yeah, I mean, think about so Penn State lost in the semis to Duke, and the NCAA doesn't have replay on any coach's challenge or end of game, and so the Duke player's foot was all over the crease, and so the goal should have been disallowed, but because they don't replay, they moved on. It was like the World Cup in 2010 when France played Ireland and got through, and Ireland was out. And so if you're Penn State, I mean, you're living the rest of your life, especially those seniors, basically answering that question as we got hosed.
What now? It's going along the same hypothetical. What if you in the semis lost by 20 at
Right.
home? Would
But
you
your
then
best
go out and
player
be like,
rolled his
would you go
ankle.
out and then be like, oh, we definitely would have won the title?
Right. Yeah, we match up better
Right,
against that
right.
team than this team.
Right.
Yeah.
It's fun to do. I mean, Hank tweeted that the Celtics would have beat the Nuggets in 5. I agree. If the
Yeah.
Bulls had beaten the Heat, they would have won the title.
No, straight up. I think Hank's right. Like
Yeah.
the Celtics would have dominated the Nuggets. I would have changed my bet. I would
If
have
the
bet
Wi-
on the Celtics.
If the Wizard had won 55 games this year, they would have won the title.
That's also a fact.
Possible.
These are all right.
I mean, you just
we
never
had
know
Michael
championship.
Jordan.
You never know.
Once you get so semifinals,
They would have been favored. I don't know what you want me to
They
say.
would not have been favored.
They would have been favored.
No,
They would not have
absolutely
been
not.
because they were not favored before the Game 7, so they would not have been
I'm
favored.
gonna get Vegas on the line and get a hypothetical line.
No, the
what do you
Nuggets were
guys-
minus 210 before Game 7, so
Yeah.
they would
what
not
do
have been
you, what do you
favored.
guys think
Because they
about?
could have been playing the Heat.
What do you think about Daryl Morey's hypothetical when he's like, there's basically 8 players in the NBA, and you have to make a move at one of them, and your chances to win
I believe
a
it.
final is
Yeah.
like greater than
Yeah.
50%.
Yeah.
That's probably true, but the 8 players, they do change. There's additions, subtractions to that 8-player list every single year. So it's either that if you want to win now, or you just basically have to get lightning in a bottle in the draft.
Yeah, well, this is why I love basketball, is that the best players, the ball's in their hand the whole game,
Right.
and they're on the floor. Lacrosse is more like hockey where, you can't really anticipate the flow of the game, and then you have to change in-game your style of play, the coaching. In basketball, you can count on X amount of possessions, X amount of shots, and that is, to me as a fan, it's more debatable, more exciting because you get to see those guys, those stars, every game do well or play shitty.
Yeah, I mean, if you go back in NBA history, I think the last time a team won a title where they didn't have a top 10 guy was probably the Pistons, and that team was just very good overall when they beat the Lakers.
Yeah.
like every other iteration.
Isaiah was pretty fucking
no,
good.
the 2004
Ben Wallace.
Oh,
Rasheed
right.
Yeah, no,
Wallace.
Isaiah was
right.
top 10 then.
Tayshaun,
Yeah, I'm talking
yeah.
about the one that beat the Lakers at the end of the
Chauncey
Lakers.
Billups.
Chauncey
Yeah.
And
Billups.
who was the
That's
guy who
Rip
had the
Ham-
mid-range
Rip
J?
Hamilton.
Rip Hamilton was
Yeah.
next.
Tayshaun Prince,
It was-
but that's kind of
Yeah, you're
that's
right.
kind of it. Like
Yeah.
every other title team that you look at, like they had one of those guys
Yeah.
that was the best player or the top 10 player.
And that Pistons team probably had players number like 11 through 16.
Right. As a
on their
team, they were
But
great.
but they didn't have anybody in the top 10.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So we do have to talk about the city model that
Yeah.
you're now introducing. So I just assumed the Water Dogs are going to be Chicago.
Well, that's part 2 of progress. So we've gone from 6 to 8 teams. We've gone from NBC to ESPN. We have new sponsors on board. We announced last week that we were taking our 8 teams to home cities next year,
and what are the home
which is
cities?
a huge one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you guys feel about, sports, especially at the pro level and their association with a home market? It's
Yep.
And you were smart the way you did it, because I think you can't build. We've seen it with some of the spring football leagues. Like, it's hard to just day one be like, oh, this is your team, now you like it.
Yeah.
Now you guys have some
And
history.
if you get that wrong, then you're moving people around
Right.
on a monopoly board.
So what are the cities? Do we know the cities?
we know some.
Okay.
Can we do a city reveal?
We cannot do.
Can we do a
We can
half
talk
city review?
Well, I saw the segment this week around you guys wanting the dogs in Chicago.
Well, no, it's not really a want. It's more like a demand.
Well, as
demand.
owners, we can also just move the team to Chicago.
Yeah,
well,
right.
Technically not. We have a bidding process that we've yet to disclose to ownership groups, so that's coming from me to you.
Okay.
And so there's
So it's how
different
much money
criteria.
can we pay you?
Do you know how Chicago
the bidding
politics
process.
work?
Essentially.
We can rig the bidding process.
I'll get Lori on the line.
Yeah,
Okay.
we got
She's
this.
got some
Right.
time.
Well, politics talk.
Okay,
So a stadium is important.
done.
Great.
Done. Soldier Field's
actually-
going to be empty soon.
Yeah, I asked players to send a rider.
Could be indoors.
Yeah, could it be
rider.
indoors?
No stands.
Could it
I
be-
love indoors.
Could be like maybe shrink the field a little bit to like a middle school basketball gym. Just
I
off the
mean,
top of my head,
that
with
would
a
be
golf
fun.
simulator in one of the ends that
Yeah.
guys can maybe run
We
into.
would also have a full-fledged media apparatus built in.
Yes.
Right next to the field.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we
podcasts.
should just do this.
Yeah.
This is new PMT Studios doubles as Water Dogs home field advantage.
Yeah. When you come play the Water Dogs, it's actually a 3-on-3 game.
Will you guys have a pool?
No.
Will you guys
have
have
a shower.
Yeah.
Will you
shower.
guys have
Yep.
they asked for
Who's they?
candy, the players.
We can cut all these guys
Pool.
and find guys
Stadium.
that don't demand shit.
I have a sauna.
They-
Do they want a sauna?
They love a sauna.
Okay, yeah, I'll
That's
sweat with them.
that's actually on the list. They want unconditional love.
Nope. Absolutely not. That's a deal breaker.
Can there be one condition
What's the condition?
if they win?
Yeah.
They get unconditional love.
Yes, if they're winners.
They win all their games.
Back to back. then.
Any loss, you lose the unconditional.
It's off the
love.
table?
Yep.
Owners have to go to every game,
That's also a no.
even when you live and podcast from the
Yeah,
stadium.
that's also
Still
a no.
can't guarantee.
Don't you have like a one weekend that's like opening week of the NFL? I might miss that one.
Well, no, we'll do owners
That's
representative.
actually this weekend.
Yeah, owners. Oh, we'll have an
But
owners.
it's on ABC.
Yeah, we'll have an owners representative of each game.
Okay, great.
That's fair.
great. Okay,
What's the starting goalie's name?
Dylan Ward.
He will be our owner's representative. He'll be at every game. Easy. That was so easy. Done. Congrats, Dylan. You're an owner.
Weight room.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
great. Stella Blue Coffee. That felt like
Easy.
pandering to me.
Done. That's done.
That
no
felt
problem.
like
As much
inside
as they
ball.
want.
Call of Duty, PlayStation, grass field instead of turf.
How about hardwood?
Yeah, hardwood is going to be probably. Have you ever seen
that might
cleats
be
on a basketball
that might
court?
be a deal breaker.
Beautiful sound. Sound like a bunch of horses.
So we're halfway there.
Yeah, we're halfway there. So this is exciting though. So how 8 cities, and then what's it gonna? Are there gonna be home games, or are
Yeah,
you guys
yes.
still gonna play?
No, so there's home games. We're keeping the touring model because we're still building overall attendance and viewership and such. So basically what it looks like is you will host a home game in your market, and then each team gets to do that over the 10 regular season games, and then there's 2 availability markets to expand to.
Nice.
And then playoffs and championship will probably fall in home markets of the teams that are winning.
Okay.
So are the teams that are like in the home market, let's say hypothetically, just toss this out there, maybe the Water Dogs are in Chicago.
Right.
They're going to live in Chicago. They're going to practice in Chicago.
Yes, I would love the players to get to their home markets. There's going to be probably a transitional phase that we're going to figure out with our players because they don't know as much as we do where they're going to end up. We're still figuring out that. We announced it early so that we could engage with our audience, learn more data that's coming in from ESPN to Ticketmaster, Live Nation, talk to a bunch of people, including our players around, okay, the prospect of hypothetically Water Dogs go to Chicago, who's down to live there. What is that?
Be an
Practicing.
intern at Barstool Sports, get our coffee, that kind of thing.
That kind of thing.
Could be a full team of interns.
That kind of thing. So
There we go. This is 2 birds with 1 stone right here.
yeah, so
Any of them want a nanny? My kids.
boom.
Like we could get all the problems solved.
Oh, designated drivers on the weekend.
Could be a water
we will
dog.
put them to work.
Yeah. So okay, so
Shovel
that's good.
my sidewalk.
So we really that's criteria. We want our owners engaged,
yeah, we're engaged. That's as
and
engaged
we want
as
them
you get.
working with their players in market. Mm-hmm.
Once
Running
you give
youth
me the
lacrosse
ring,
programs.
then I'll be engaged. How about that?
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, what about markets that are non-starters for the Dogs?
Ooh.
St. Louis, right?
Yeah,
I
no,
think we
St.
said
Louis
we're
is
never going
off.
to go to St. Louis.
That's
St. Louis is
non-starter.
Those are
off.
Mount Rushmore of cities we'll never
What
go
about
to.
Washington?
Yeah, Washington, D.C. would love it.
You
Yeah,
love the
absolutely.
dogs. You guys would support the dogs in DC?
Yes.
I'll also throw out another one that if not Chicago, we would move to Oakland and be the Kings of Oakland because they've lost every team in the
Oakland
last
Water
like
Dogs.
5 years.
Yeah.
The big market
We
out
wouldn't
there.
actually do anything, but we would just say that we brought a
What about
franchise.
California? Just call it California. We could move up and down the state.
Oh, the California Water Dogs. We could like buy
in.
a
That's a good
one-bedroom
idea.
apartment in California.
Yeah.
California Water. So we have California, Washington, D.C., Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
New
not?
York?
You know, San
No.
Diego
New
gets
York's-
all their teams taken from them too.
Yeah,
What about
they do.
Honolulu?
Honolulu
In.
would be awesome.
I'm gonna throw one out there as well. And this, like, I think we haven't discussed it, but we would definitely be down with a Youngstown, Ohio Water
Yeah.
Dogs, capital of grit.
okay.
Mystery
Give it to-
Water Dogs.
Yeah, mystery water dogs.
we
You don't know
definitely
where
need-
they are.
No, Alaska.
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay, that too.
Play their games at like 3 a.m.
Yeah,
like
I mean
that.
our
We don't know
mascot
where
is
they
kind
are.
of like a husky, anyways, isn't it?
The mystery.
Yeah,
the mystery
just the
water
American
dogs.
water dogs. All of the countries ours.
The American Water Dogs. Yep, that's a catch-all.
Who's our
we
big
need-
rival?
The
whip snakes.
The whip snakes. I
the
fucking hate
snakes.
them. Move
Yeah,
them
the
to the
snakes.
Sentinelese Islands. Put
whip
them.
snakes are
That's
out.
their home stadium.
Right. And what about? So we're probably a good guess for a lacrosse fan, someone who watched MLO would say the Cannons are going to be in Boston.
And then what
Hank,
else?
did you ever watch the Boston Cannons?
Of course.
My man.
Growing up.
Do you want to
Love the Cannons.
Maybe we can get you on
Name
the
3 of your
ownership group
favorite
the
cannon players.
You know what I kind of like?
Peter Uline.
Paul Rabil.
There's one. He also told me he was a
Matt
big
Rambo.
He was a big Matt Rambo fan, big Kevin Buchanan fan, and Ryan Boyle, who
Yep.
calls our games with Jake.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's 3 right there.
You know what you should do, and this is just like I'm being serious here. You're doing the city model, it would actually be advantageous to do something like they used to do in like the NBA way back in the day, where it's regional draft. So like if Chicago got the Water Dogs, they get at least one Notre Dame player every year. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So you keep that connection.
Yeah.
And this may be me trying to get both Kavanaugh brothers, but that's fine. I'm willing to do that.
What do you guys think about drafts in general?
I like them when they're rigged.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get first pick every year.
The difference between American pro sports and just call it like global football is the draft, because without the draft, you can just acquire players when they're young and assign
Yeah.
them to your academies.
Yeah.
Or even in college. And I think now with NIL happening the way it does, that I would push the NBA to move in that direction and the NFL. The NBA easier than the NFL because of all like the contact and how difficult it is to play in the NFL. But if you kill a draft, you can just start acquiring these players that are superstars when they're 16 anyway.
Yeah.
Have you thought about doing a snake draft?
Yes. Snake
We
draft
could do
would
a
rule.
snake draft.
Also,
I
have
mean,
you
we
thought
could
about
just get rid of a draft.
There's only 8
and
teams.
just-
It's not 31 teams. You have to go 31 up, 31 down. 8 is reasonable.
Also-
Eight is reasonable, and eight allows us to grow the awareness and the wage profile of our players.
Mm-hmm.
The more we add teams, the more everyone sort
Right.
of dilutes.
Have you thought about draft order? Maybe $50 Frank the Tank cameo. He decides the draft order every year. That would be interesting.
That's a good idea.
He just randomly decides the draft order.
More
every single year.
more money than $50.
We don't even tell him what he's deciding the draft order for. You just give him the names of like each captain, and he will just rattle it off for you late August.
That feels like a good idea, though, to honestly crowdfund against the fans of each team for the number 1 pick, and all that money goes to
Us.
the owners.
Done.
Yeah, I mean, you could do.
Honestly,
it's interesting because
interesting.
I've thought about getting rid of the draft, what that would look like in football and in basketball. It's kind of weird that you take kids coming out of college and then you tell them, okay, you're going to move to this city. This is where you're going to work. You don't have a choice in the situation. But now that I'm an owner, I love that.
But we're
control
paying you
over
millions
the-
of
over
dollars.
But they do
over
have
the
a choice,
players.
right? They don't
Yeah.
have to sign. Like Lionel Messi and his family didn't have to sign with Barcelona Football Club.
Well, no, hey, Hank, let's talk about it real quick because, like, if you go to college for any other vocation, right? You have a choice of where you're going to go, and they're going to pay you maybe sometimes
What about West Point?
millions of
shitload,
dollars.
and then they could put
Yeah.
you on loan as well. It becomes
no
like a
one's
real
coming out of
asset.
college making millions of dollars except for professional athletes.
No, but some people you make hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you get to choose where you work.
But if you got offered to get millions of dollars but told where to work, they're taking yes.
I mean,
everything.
think about
listen,
Bronny James, right?
I'm
Like
not
Bronny
crying. I'm not
James.
crying for professional athletes not being able to do this. I'm saying it's completely different from every other thing about American business.
I love it. And it turns it into more of a business because now you're scouting and you're acquiring talent when they're young. You're helping them develop.
Yeah.
They're allowed to go to college and play. You have to pay them on background. You can loan them out to other teams if you want.
I would like, though, for the Water Dogs to be in a position where we can do the process and actually see it all the way through. Tank for multiple years in a row to just try to get as many assets and then get like a really tall guy who runs out of gas every single playoffs.
I mean, look, I've gotten owners from different leagues that are asking if they can sit down and meet with you guys, how you were able to turn that team around so quickly.
Yeah, it was.
3-year
We'll never give up
expansion.
our secret sauce.
3-year expansion, and everyone wants to know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
it's actually one of them is criticize the team.
Yeah,
publicly.
It's really
Seems to work.
The key is to be as hands off as possible, where you don't even watch the games.
Right.
We put our lacrosse guys in a position to make lacrosse decisions.
Yeah.
We're just the owners.
Exactly.
Right? We hired
Right.
good people.
Yeah.
Andy Copeland.
Andy Copeland, who
exactly.
I might have put on the hot seat 2 years ago.
Well, he felt that heat.
Well, we weren't playing D. I said we said on this show we got to take away the D from his name. He's just Andy Copeland now. Like, it was ridiculous how bad we were. So we're better now though. We're good. We're champions. Jake Marsh on the call. He's been. Let's talk about Jake Marsh real quick.
Okay, yeah.
Has he been? Is there room for him to eventually be like the Kevin Harlan or Joe Buck of lacrosse?
On the slate regularly. I'm pushing for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
He loves doing it, and
Yeah.
no one works harder.
Yeah, his
pushing back?
prep sheet is
Yeah.
like 3 different laminated, stats and team qualifiers and all that stuff. He comes with a game face.
Well, and I don't know if you hear, but when he's about to call a lacrosse game for you guys, we say on this show, like, if you don't tune in, we hope you die. So, like, it's
Right.
a pretty good incentive.
It's a good push.
Yeah.
Our highest viewed games are when Jake Marsh is on the call.
There's a lot of
That's
people
awesome.
don't want to
Yeah,
die.
that's good to know.
Yeah.
Did you know that he doesn't wear pants when he's on the call?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that, but it doesn't surprise me.
Just nude from the waist down.
And
but
it's
he's got
tighty
the
whities.
desk
no
in front
underwear.
of him.
No
Well,
underwear.
it depends on where he's at. Some states have different laws.
Yeah.
But
Right.
typically just no belt, no pants, just whatever God gave him.
because he's getting hot.
Well, no, he says he
doesn't-
needs
he
it
doesn't
for
wanna
his
be gamey.
voice. Yeah.
Oh, because it comes.
He really finds his voice
Our
from his
vocal
balls.
cords come
yeah.
from our testes.
Yeah, exactly.
They really do.
I have a question for you, kind of a serious question. As a commissioner,
Yeah.
how would you rank the other commissioners? If you look at Roger Goodell,
Right.
Bettman,
Yeah.
and the other ones, Rob Manfred
So,
and
yeah,
David Stern.
So I love Adam Silver. He's the man. He's been super supportive of the PLL and strategic at times.
2 online.
I've never met Roger Goodell. Gary Bettman was just recognized for his career at the Sports Business Awards, and he's probably the most controversial. I mean,
Goodell.
Roger, and then Bettman. But Bettman was a part of 2 strikes, I
Yeah.
think, in the NHL, and he came over from the NBA. So he's got loads of experience, but he's a legal background. And was it Bettman the Bettman era that really started the fans booing commissioners, and that's bled over to Goodell? I think it started with Bettman, didn't it?
Yeah.
I think it was like when Goodell started fining people for everything, for literally
Right.
everything. Like, oh, your socks are a little bit too low.
Right.
$10,000.
Yeah.
But I don't think Goodell's he's not really controversial anymore because everyone hates him.
I feel like he has a pretty big PR campaign right now going on.
Yeah.
Where he's doing a lot more media. They used to never do media.
Bud
Yeah.
Selig was also like very hated.
Yeah.
For how he dealt with steroids and then
Oh yeah. And then
tie
Manfred now.
in the
Yeah,
All-Star
the
game.
tie.
Imagine
in
Manfred
Milwaukee.
coming on this show and talking about rules.
Yeah,
just
Never happened.
would never happen. And Major League Baseball is getting so much love right now for doing something that we've been calling for 15 fucking years.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
That
it's true.
pitch clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're late to it,
Yeah.
but they get credit.
We just changed our shot clock a little bit, made it a little bit faster.
Well, Goodell does something that we've noticed over the years that we point out every time. He will take something away that is fun, and then when everyone like gets upset, he'll give it back, and then he'll be like, "Look, I gave it back." Like when he did the touchdown celebrations,
Yep.
and then he gave it back, and everyone's like, "Goodell, what a good job!" So you need to do that.
Oldest trick in the book.
Take
Yeah.
away goals for an entire season.
Take away
Every game's a 0-0
Yeah.
tie. Then give it back, and everyone's like, "Holy shit, Paul Rabel, we got goals again."
That's
lower
that's
wages.
A good strategy.
Lower wages the year before you're going to increase wages.
Yeah, it's smart.
Or start just out of nowhere finding people like $50,000 because your cleats are too bright.
Yeah.
And then be like, tell you what, I'm going to let you do one weekend where you can wear whatever color shoes you want as long as you donate your game check to charity.
Yeah. Replays when he did instant replay for pass interference and then was like, I'm taking it away. Games are going to be shorter.
What about finding owners?
We're not cool with that.
Wait, new owners?
Did you say finding or fining?
fining owners.
No, that's not okay.
No. Good luck.
Not good.
Good luck. I mean, you know how long it took you to sign a contract,
Right.
To become an owner.
Commissioners answer to owners anyway.
That's
So,
true. You are.
Yeah,
you are a figurehead.
Yeah,
you know.
we are your boss.
Not to
You're a
negotiate
pu-
against
I would say-
myself,
I
but
would say puppet.
Yeah.
You're a puppet.
and to be fair, what we decide on behind the scenes, like off the mics, is we usually get into it.
Yeah.
That's where it really gets dirty.
Yeah.
Where we have those like knockdown, drag out fights in
Yeah.
the conference rooms.
Exactly.
It is cool though that you bought the league that you used to play in. That's got to feel good, right?
That's
Like
a
an
flex.
ultimate flex.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. It was good. They were difficult, man. They were. You guys still haven't seen the documentary that you're in, have you?
Billy saw it.
Billy
Yeah,
saw it.
you guys are on Hulu right now. Pardon my take, and you guys basically bringing in the story of Major League Lacrosse and Premier Lacrosse League.
I did see that clip.
Yeah, I did see that
Okay,
clip
great.
too.
It's a good story. You guys should watch.
I'm always nervous though. Like we were on Good Morning America the other day. Did you guys know that?
Huh?
Liver King interview, and it was just us shirtless. And I was like, "Fuck."
Right.
So I never really kind of
but this one was
I don't
good.
go back. I go forward.
This one was good. But yeah, no, at that time, bring that up because at that time when we were signing the players over to us, their ownership group just started talking a bunch of shit on us.
Oh, really?
And and things
You
like
should have brought us
things
in
like they
for
don't
that.
have a network deal. They don't have any money. There was one rumor that came out because Mike and I went to the Super Bowl on behalf of a partner yet to be announced. It was Gatorade at the time, and they're like, they're spending all their money on themselves. And then
Well,
I get
that's
on the phone
true.
with players who's like, did you guys spend $50K to go to the Super Bowl? And I'm like, what the fuck is this turning into?
Yeah, I heard that was true.
That we
Yeah, that you went to Super
wasn't
Bowl.
cheap.
Yeah, you spent all that money on the Super Bowl. You should, when you get in these like negotiations that are tough, tap us in. We're
in.
ready to just
good to
completely
know.
soil someone online.
Yeah, you
Will
guys.
you give us the list of names and we'll just tweet shit about them all the time.
Yeah.
You have a
Like a
PR
fixer.
service. Yeah, we will get in the mud for you.
Who's your
Great.
biggest enemy?
You did get in the mud for me that one time. Remember
Yeah.
we talked about it? It was
Yeah, when you
unfair.
took your helmet off and got in that fight.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And everyone
Shit.
was like,
That's what it was.
It's like, this is weird. The guy who took his helmet off and got in a fight is also the guy, putting down the suspensions. But you were in the right. You did not handle that. You had someone else handle it.
Right.
Which I respected.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did get in the mud for you because people were saying, oh, Paul Rabil's not going to suspend. You let someone else handle it,
Yeah. Yeah.
which was fair.
Your brother?
Have to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you, hands off this one.
Right.
His brother and his mom.
Not my decision. Yeah, was that ever awkward? Like guys wanted to fight you, but they're like, he's the commissioner. I don't know if I should
Yeah, it
fight
was hard.
this guy.
Actually, training camp started last week. I was there for the first few practices, and it felt better than it ever has because I was now 2 seasons away from playing. And so even last year after I had retired, it was still a little bit of that stare down in a hallway, like sizing you up type of thing, which I hated because I'm not going to come back
Right. But maybe.
Officially retired.
yet.
Yeah. Maybe.
There could be a sequel to that
You
movie.
should just have the championship team sign you every year right before the championship game.
Right before the championship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just be like,
Yeah, extend waivers a few more weeks
yeah,
into
see if you
playoffs.
see if you can get like 15 titles and just be like, I'm the GOAT. Look at all these rings. That would be sick.
we have some serious
Which commissioner
business,
do
though.
you think would do that?
Oh, Goodell.
Goodell.
Yeah, Goodell would for sure
for
do
sure.
that. I have one last question for you, Paul, and this has been great. PLL coming back, season 5.
Yep.
Check it out. Training camp started. We have Billy and Jake in training camp right now.
June 3rd and 4th, Saturday and Sunday at 1 p.m., both games on ABC.
Yes. Water Dogs play at 1 o'clock.
Yes. Against Chaos on Sunday.
Yes.
We have 8 ABC windows.
Love it.
I like
Love
that.
it.
We're trying to figure out where to bring the Water Dogs. We had our director of marketing sent me for you guys and all of your listeners. It's waterdogscomehome.com if you want to have a say
Okay.
in where the team goes.
Okay.
Yeah, which market wants it?
DC, Chicago, California. Where else did we say?
Youngstown,
Youngstown, Alaska,
Alaska.
and then America.
Let's throw in Afghanistan.
Right.
Let's just see.
Let's
If
see.
we get some votes.
Let's just see.
Yeah. I mean, that would throw a little wrinkle in your league.
Imagine flying into Kabul for a tournament.
Look, Navy SEAls are
That's
also
called
known
a
as
home
water
field
dogs.
advantage,
yeah,
baby.
altitude too.
Navy SEAls also known as water dogs.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
So,
yes. All right. So my last question, rollback question, promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase, RHOBACK.com, Q-Zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, and shorts. Shorts, when you're going to see PLL this year, wear your rollback all summer long. This is the most important thing. You need to get us Bill Belichick on PMT. You've
Yeah.
promised.
Right.
It's time. You tell us. You tell Bill wherever he wants us to be. Time, place. We don't care. We'll be there.
Okay, I'm going to lean into this one.
Yes.
Okay, so what's in it for me? 'Cause I will strategize on this.
We made a deal last year when you were on this show. We said that
You'd come to games.
we would go to a game.
It
we'd
was
go
a
to
big
tournament.
deal, though. It was like flying you guys by private airline and then
No, we
helicopter
had some
onto
demands.
center
We had some
field.
demands.
Yeah, we will be in attendance for an entire weekend of games
Okay,
if Bill Belichick will be there, and we can interview Bill Belichick at the tournament.
at the games. Well, it may.
Wait, Hank, what?
Wait.
Or we could just be anywhere else.
Yeah, we don't have to do that.
Like, it doesn't have to be-
a full weekend.
And we don't have to interview Belichick if he's not. Like, we can
Yeah,
go
we can
interview
go
him
interview
wherever.
Belichick.
want-
Here's what I'll say.
And you want him in person.
In person,
Okay,
I
then.
will care more. I will ramp up my care.
That would be an incredible podcast, by the way.
Yes, it would.
So we don't have to
He's
interview
such a
Bill
good dude.
at a game.
Yeah, and we don't have to
yeah.
go to a game.
He wouldn't let that happen.
Yeah,
We will go to one game.
we'll go
PLL
to
game.
a
Yeah.
game, and we will care significantly more.
A Water Dogs game.
Mm-hmm. Sure, and we will care. You're missing the care part. I'm taking my care from 0 to at least 10.
I know. That's why they ask for unconditional love.
Yeah, I'm willing to.
If they win.
I don't want to promise too much. I mean, I can actually maybe speak for myself in my area, but we are, designing the new studio. Like we could put some signage up.
Yeah, some water dog
Water
stuff.
dogs.
Ooh,
Right.
That might be the
A Water
so-
Dogs mural.
Yeah, a
How
water
big
dogs
is the
mural. A championship mural.
A small mural.
Yeah. A pocket-sized mural.
That's like a sticker.
Yeah, right.
We'll get a sticker on the wall.
There will be a sticker.
I'll draw a picture of a dog and a Post-it note and put it behind me.
Yeah, I don't see the Water Dogs helmet here. Now that we're
I'll put a sticker. I'll put a PLL sticker on my computer.
jerseys.
That's Billy took that.
Right here
Boom,
on the computer.
There we go. PFT coming in.
Bang.
My owner's jacket.
Damn.
I wear this
I've
every
never
day.
even seen that.
Every day. Because you're not in the owners club.
Right. I'm not.
You're in the commish club.
Yep. Wow, that's sick. Who
Yeah,
made
but we
that?
could get something on the wall.
Not sure.
Yeah. All right. So let's do
Okay,
it.
cool. So I'll work on that throughout the off season.
Right now.
Now's the off. It's the off season
now.
today.
Right now.
I'll work on that
Right
now.
now. Right
you mean
now.
this off season?
The football off season? Yes.
football.
Yes. Right now. We will go right now. It's
Okay.
gonna be. It would be the start of Grit Week. It would be incredible. We'll ask at least 3 lacrosse questions.
When is the ring ceremony?
He will definitely talk about lacrosse.
We
with
will
you.
ask him lacrosse. That's
Yeah.
a guarantee. Guaranteed ask about lacrosse.
He's only been on one other podcast.
Which one? Yours?
It's in 2007, we played Duke, and we were down 6-1, and we won the championship. Yeah, it's a self call. He's been on my podcast.
Okay, so he knows how to do a podcast. We would take great
I
care
felt
of him.
awful about it though. 'Cause
Why?
It was, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll do it." And he was like, "So what is a podcast?" When I started taking out the microphones.
So now he
And
knows.
He's like, "How many people are going to listen to this?"
Now he
I was
knows.
like, "I don't know." Now he knows.
Now he knows.
Now he
So
knows.
he's prepped. We will. I mean, it would be.
I'm going to
one-
have to go through his guy Burge.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So we got
Do whatever you gotta do.
You guys have maybe take Burge out for dinner.
I've heard about Burge.
No problem.
He's a legend.
I
Burge
bet
is
you.
a legend.
I bet you he has heard this podcast.
I guarantee
because
it.
Edelman plays it constantly. He's just walking around with a boombox.
We
That's
can
how-
have a conversation with the Crafts. They're investors in the PLL. You guys are owners. We should make this happen.
Yeah,
Yes.
owner to owner. We'll talk to him.
Yes,
Yeah,
let's do it.
Talk about when he's done coaching in the NFL, which PLL team. That's my
That's
only
easy
question.
Done.
Yeah,
First
I will
question.
fire Copeland in a second.
Yeah.
For Belichick.
BB.
Yes,
You do it.
Yes. All right. Well, Paul Rabil,
All right,
always
guys.
great to see you. Always great to have you come by. PLL back. Water Dogs playing this weekend. We're
Jake
excited.
Marsh.
Jake Marsh. It's
Jake
gonna
Marsh
be
on the
great.
call. The boys are already there. Love you guys. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Paul Rabel's brought to you by Pardon My Cheesesteak. Are you tired of sad, limp, and flavorless cheesesteaks? Do you crave something that will make your taste buds dance with joy and happiness? Well, look no further, my friend, because Pardon My Cheesesteak is here to save the day. We love Pardon My Cheesesteak. We've been ordering them just about every weekend. On Sunday, we usually get an order of Pardon My Cheesesteak, and they're awesome. I like the Chipotle cheesesteak. I also like the buffalo chicken. Hank, what's your favorite?
I'm excited to try the Chicago part of my cheesesteak.
What's
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Just part of my cheesesteak in Chicago.
Oh, okay, yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Hell yes.
Chicago style.
Get Chicago style. I like to put ketchup on mine. That's how they do it out in the Windy City, baby. Chicago style part of my cheesesteak. You can try. We have all these different varieties of cheesesteak depending on where you're located. You can probably get a Jacksonville cheesesteak.
Yeah, Florida cheesesteak.
I saw that we opened up a bunch of part of my cheesesteaks in Florida.
Yeah, tons.
Those have meth in them. Texas part of my cheesesteaks. They actually don't have meth in them. I just want to make that clear. That's parody law. But they're so addictive that you think that they might. Order some part of my cheesesteak today. What are you waiting for? Order now and experience the taste sensation that is part of my cheesesteak. Order at partofmycheesesteak.com. You can also find it on Uber Eats, Grubhub, and DoorDash. Do not put in the description extra meth, please. Don't do that. They won't put that on your sandwich. I want to make that very clear. But it'd be funny.
Okay. We're going to do the second half of the show. We have our first movie review. Well, we did one a couple weeks ago, but Max has joined us, Max.com. Go download Max.com. We talked about Succession last week.
The good Max.
Good Max. We talked about Succession last week. We're going to do some movie reviews in the coming weeks, and we started this week with Bloodsport. Bloodsport, a classic 1988 action movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Actually, the movie that started the Muscles from Brussels. This was his first starring role. I think he was like 28 in this movie. Very good-looking guy. But Bloodsport, what?
He's French?
The Muscles from Brussels.
Brussels is
France.
Belgium.
Belgium. Close enough.
Waffles.
I was trying to figure that out. This, and we'll get into the notes. This was I've obviously heard about him. I know you talk about him a lot. It was a little bit before my time, so this was my first JVC movie.
And he is
no.
good-looking.
JCVD.
Yeah.
JCVD.
And it is awesome. I forgot. I probably haven't seen this movie in 15, 20 years. It's better than when I saw it when I was younger.
It's
like a fine wine, gets better with age.
Yep.
What I really like about this movie, you know how they have the Bechdel test? I'm pretty sure that's the one where if you watch a movie and two women have a conversation with each other that isn't about a man, then it passes the Bechdel test.
Yeah.
With this one, there should be a Van Damme test where there are more punches than there are words said during the movie. And and it passes with flying colors. It's incredible from the very start to the end. It's just everything that you want out of a cheesy 80s action movie.
It's the best. It is the thing I love. So little description of the movie for people who didn't watch it, but you should watch it. It's on Max.com. It's a classic. It's a mandatory watch if you like action movies. It is Frank Dux, who's in the Army, who was trained as a young child by Tanaka's son, actual son. Well, there was a couple things happened. They had some flashbacks. Tanaka just casually dropping like, my first family. Yeah, we lived in Hiroshima. Whoops. That wasn't good. What were you going to say, Hank?
I mean, there's a few things. The scenes with the kid actors when he helps Tanaka's son not get bullied in the hug. Some of the worst acting of all time.
Oh, that's what makes
the movie That's a great sign of a cheesy movie. Is
Also,
the kid's acting was horrific.
Yeah, also the rare Giants fan. He had a San Francisco Giants hat and a New York Giants jersey.
And he was also
Jake Marsh pointed out that's the Mike Francesa.
That's Mike Francesa.
If they ever get together. I actually looked up that jersey on the New York Giants that he was wearing. Dukes as a kid is wearing a Brian Kelly jersey.
Ooh,
which is
nice.
Appropriate given the shitty accent.
Yes.
Right off the bat, it might have been the first person they showed was a man doing karate, and I just had the feeling of like, I bet you this dude is like 25, but he looks so much older. Like everyone that was supposed to be young in this movie just looks way older than they. Maybe that's just me being older now.
That's the 80s.
But I was like, these people are supposed to be like younger than I am, and they all look like they're 35.
In the 80s, if you were 29 years old, you would look like you were 60.
Yeah. This movie is so great because it is the easiest movie to understand. They telegraph everything. Foreshadowing is like hits you over the head with foreshadowing. Like the Kumite having Tanaka's son die, and then Van Damme has to go train with Tanaka and get ready for the Kumite. The scene where he's like finally done training and he sets the table with the blindfold and then catches Tanaka's punch blindfolded. You're like, ooh, I mean, that might come back in handy later.
Mrs. Tanaka was leaking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She was leaking.
If you like montages, this is the movie for you. There's like 7 different montages in there. I like when they get to Hong Kong.
Yeah, so they go. So he gets trained by Tanaka. Then he's leaving. He basically went AWOL from the army in the first like 5 minutes to go to Hong Kong to fight in the Kumite, which is an underground fight to the death to find the greatest fighter in the world.
Yes, and when they get to Hong Kong, that's when things really start to kick off because you get to meet the other fighters from different parts of the world, and it's basically like Street Fighter or like Mortal Kombat, the movie.
Mortal Kombat was based on this movie.
Yeah, so it's
literally
pretty much the same plot.
Yes,
but they do it better in Bloodsport. But once you get to Hong Kong, it's fighters from all around the world, and they're all so very stereotypical about the countries that they come from.
One even being a bad stereotype.
Yeah, very, very. I think we can all agree
that was
that one
crazy.
guy, that was wild that was ever in a movie.
Yeah.
The coconut scene at the wow.
Yeah.
But
you know who we're talking about, Hank.
yeah. The Saudi Arabian guy was my favorite because he was very clearly just Asian.
Yeah.
But he was wearing a Saudi Arabian headscarf.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, this bad guy is now trying to kidnap the woman reporter, and then Van Damme shows up at the bar and he's like, she's not your property, you can't claim her.
Yeah.
Tell you what, let's gamble, and if I win, then she's my property.
Yeah, it's a quarter trick. The quarter trick is all time. And the Saudi Arabian guy's name is Hossein.
Yeah, Hussein.
So,
Saudi Arabia should put together, I mean, if they love Bloodsport, that's kind of their business model these days.
Yeah.
They should do a big ass international fighting
why
tournament.
not? Yeah.
Was it just me, or was his buddy just Ben Roethlisberger?
Oh, Ray Jackson.
And it was on brand when this first scene, he's like sexually harassing the woman on the bus, and then Van Damme's like, "We're gonna be boys now."
Yeah, and it's also great because in like these '80s action movies, there's usually a love angle, which Van Damme has with the reporter, who the reporter just basically was like, "I want to get in the Kumite, also let's fuck, and maybe you'll let me in the Kumite." But there's also like a very heavy like hetero love connection where when they start playing a video game together and they look at each other like, that's bro love.
Dude, him and Tanaka, like I wrote that down multiple times. He basically has sexual tension with everyone.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's Van Damme. Van Damme is so hot that everyone wants to fuck him.
He's just chilling in his room getting ready for the Kumite, and he's doing the splits on that like elevated platform.
Dude, even the military police that are after him in Hong Kong, he's got sexual tension with them. Yeah. That was one of the greatest chase scenes of all time. Van Damme, so he's at the Kumite. He goes through the first round. There's the army. We're led to believe that Frank Dux is this incredible soldier that they need to get back, a great asset for the U.S. Army.
They never addressed that, right? Because I kind of wasn't paying attention maybe in the very, very beginning where if they did a quick explainer, but I was like, what does he need to get back for? Like, what is his job?
They don't want him to get hurt.
Yeah, they invested in him. He's
for what reason?
RoboCop.
Hank, he's a super soldier.
Yeah.
One Frank Dukes could take out entire subcontinent.
Yes.
So they need him back. They can't have him getting killed in the Bloodsport.
Wasn't he just like mopping the floor?
No, he's the best of the best.
He's always on standby.
He's also a great movie.
He's like an A-bomb.
Yeah.
It's like you have to have him around in case you need him.
But so the military police chase him. Maybe the greatest chase scene of all time. They chase through the streets of Hong Kong. They probably cover like 5 miles. The entire chase, the military police is 20 feet behind Van Damme. Mm-hmm. Like he's always there. He never opens the gap. He's playing with them. He's fooling with them.
It's like a Scooby-Doo chase.
Yeah, great montage. And then we get back to the Kumite. We obviously have Ray Jackson, his hetero love affair, gets beat bad by Chong Li, which again another foreshadow when Ray Jackson was like, "I want you, Chong Li," and he also said, "This is one of my favorite parts of these cheesy movies that they have to make sure that like halfway through the movie they say the title of the movie because they're watching the fights." And Ray Jackson just turns to him. He's like, "That's why they call it Bloodsport, kid."
I wrote it in my notes that a light bulb went off for me.
Yeah.
When he said that, I was like,
Yeah. That's why they call it Bloodsport.
I had no idea why until during the sport there was blood.
Yeah. And Chong Li's a bad
I was Leo.
dude.
I was like,
yeah. Chong Li killed a guy.
Crazy.
Former Kumite. Then he kills another guy in this Kumite.
Maybe the craziest pecs of all time.
Oh,
just
badass.
like his pecs extend downward towards his knees, but it's all muscle. That's all man.
He also has Chong Li all-time villain because he has one single line the entire movie, "You are next." That's it. That's the only time we hear him talk. Everyone starts turning on him because he's killing guys for just like he Kevin Wared a guy. Like he just did bad stuff.
He kills a guy. It gets silent. The crowd stands up.
They turn their back.
and then it just goes back to fighting.
Well, yeah, it's
They don't
That's why
even-
they
yeah.
call it Bloodsport, kid.
It was,
Yeah,
come on.
you sign up for Bloodsport with the understanding that you might die.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what makes it so alluring.
So then we get to the final scene with Jean-Claude Van Damme versus Chung-Li, and this is crazy, but Chung-Li cheats and blinds Van Damme. Thankfully, we found out early on that Van Damme is trained blindfolded. Never saw that coming back, and Van Damme ends up winning.
Wait. Can we? I mean, I guess you're gonna say this is why they call it Bloodsport, but the split
I don't
punch
think-
in the balls,
I
like
don't-
that was a cheap shot.
I don't think Hank knows why they call it Bloodsport.
Hank,
No, I get it. No,
I
I'm
feel
saying
like you're
you can
missing
do,
a
you
part
can
of
do
Bloodsport.
you can do anything in Bloodsport to get blood.
But
Yeah,
you fast forward.
there's
Yeah, you
three
fast
ways.
forwarded. You fast forwarded to the championship, but I thought it was a little bit of a scumbag, cheap shot when he just did the split and punched the guy in the nuts to advance.
Yeah, but that's Bloodsport. You either
Yeah,
hit him off
no.
the runway,
I don't like-
you knock him out, or they say mate, which is uncle.
I don't like what Hank's doing right. This
Yeah.
is the pussification of Bloodsport that Hank's going
It's
for.
No,
literally
I
a
just-
fight to the
It might as well
death.
be flag Bloodsport. Hank.
Yeah, it's a fight to the I mean, Chung-Li beat a guy up unconscious, and then in front of the entire audience snapped his neck and killed him. And
Yeah.
and you're worried about a fucking nut shot?
Yes, yeah, no, I guess I knew you were gonna say that.
It's Bloodsport. Anything, no rules.
All right.
So Van Damme
Is that
blinded.
Is it possible to hear a punch coming?
Well,
Yes.
yeah, for him.
I think for Van Damme.
Yeah,
He set the table
Oh, Hank,
blindfolded.
whatever, Hank. You're anti-Bloodsport. I can't trust you.
No, I just
You don't know why it's called Bloodsport.
You don't know combat sports.
Yeah. But Van Damme wins, beats Chung-Li, the greatest champion of all time. Beautiful ending. Ray Jack goes to the hospital. A nice I love you, man.
He looked like
he's-
Tyler Hansborough when he was bloody and like screaming.
Yeah.
He looked exactly like Tyler
Yeah,
Hansborough.
finding he does like he finds like his surroundings, even though he can't see.
You know who
like a cat.
my favorite guys in these types of movies are? They're the toss guys. And you see them in martial arts too, like demonstrations. Their entire job is to run at Steven Seagal,
Yeah.
and then just get touched
Tossed.
by him, and then do like 3 flips because the power of his finger was so strong that it like launched you into orbit.
Yeah.
This movie is filled with toss guys.
Yes.
just getting thrown around left and right. They love that shit.
The best one I had it in the notes. The guy, he screamed, and then Van Damme kicked him once, and then he kicked him a second time, and he flew out like
Yes,
he
yeah.
flew into the abyss.
Yes.
Yeah, there's such
that
a-
was the fight. That
there's
was
such
that was laugh out loud funny.
such an art in being a toss guy. I feel like you have to be a toss guy for enough years until you get promoted to being the guy that gets to beat the shit out of the
Yes,
toss guys.
yes. There's also like scenes. This is really the mark of a great 80s action movie. There's scenes that feel important that just don't have any importance and never get brought up again. When like Hussein loses his gold tooth and they zoom in on the guy who's cleaning up the mat who steals it, and you're like, will that come back? No, that meant nothing.
just saw
Absolutely
gold.
nothing. That completely had no relevance whatsoever.
But they did the Hitchcock zoom. They did
Yeah.
that too in the beginning. Like that's a sign of an old school movie when they're just doing the Hitchcock
Zoom-ins,
zoom as
yeah.
much as possible.
Yeah.
There was some information that I found when I looked up about this movie because I want to know the history behind Bloodsport and how
what
it
was
got
the
made.
critical reception? And
Oh,
stuff?
I have a quote,
It's got a good score on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's like 87 or something like
No,
that.
it's
Maybe that's IMDb that I saw. It was like an
it's a
8.7.
46 approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. One of the reviews that came out at the time was basically said, what was it? It was like, this is a cliche movie. It made money. It made good money. But yeah, beyond Van Damme's athleticism, Bloodsport is a cliched, virtually plotless exercise in action movie recycling. Disagree with that.
Well, that's like saying beyond Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs aren't a very good football
Yeah,
team.
yeah. But so this movie, by the way, Max didn't like this movie. We'll hear from him at the end. I saw this movie like 20 years ago, and I was explaining this, and I think you probably went through the same thing, PFT, where at the end, the movie ends, and they reveal that this is all based on a true story.
Yeah.
And it's Frank Dux, and he's got world records, fastest knockout, 3.2 seconds, fastest kick, 72 miles an hour, most consecutive knockouts in a single tournament, 56. So when I watched this 20 years ago, I was like, this is fucking cool, badass. The internet's not the internet. I just believed it. Last night I rewatched it, and I went and looked it up, and Frank Dux is the greatest liar of all time.
Yeah.
All of it is fake.
So when they interviewed the screenwriter about it, the screenwriter said that like there are some issues with the script based on what Frank Dux told me. He said it is based on a true story, except Frank Dux lied about his fighting record as well as the existence of the entire tournament.
As well as his
So it's
military
just-
record. So
which is like the entire thing is made up.
he's the greatest liar of all time. Like, I actually think they should make they did make 3 more Bloodsports, but Van Damme's not in them. They need to make a making of the Bloodsport. So Frank Dux is a guy who was in the Marines, and he left the Marines. So it basically is all based on this one article that was written about him in 1980, where the author feels like they just believed everything he said. He said that he was in the CIA. He was blowing up like oil depots in Iraq and like going like all these covert operations. The CIA came out and was like, none of this is true. They're actually, if you look at his military record in 1978, he was institutionalized for having like bad thoughts and like completely making stuff up.
Have you ever heard of MK Ultra and the CIA? Big Cat,
Yeah.
do you think the CIA would acknowledge this stuff if it was true?
He's basically used the CIA being like a covert like organization to make his career even bigger, where he's like, yeah, well, they erased all the records.
Yeah.
So of course they're not going to tell me this.
Correct.
I like Frank Dux simply because when he gets caught in a lie, he just lies even more. They asked for where the Kumite sword is, and he said, I had it, but I had to sell it, pawn it, to pay ransom for a bunch of kids that were kidnapped by Somali pirates. Mm-hmm. So he just made that.
What a great guy. That should be a movie too.
He also produced the trophy, and then a couple years after he produced the trophy, a guy came forward from a trophy shop in the San Fernando Valley and was like, yeah, he bought that from me.
Sounds like he should get his ass kicked.
Also, Tanaka is the name of a bad guy in a Bond movie.
Okay.
So he just made up all this stuff. They tried to find it. Tanaka didn't exist.
I think it happened.
They tried to find all this stuff. There also is like these moments where they found other people who were at this alleged Kumite, and one of them like said, yeah, I was there. I saw Frank Dux. He knocked everyone out. It was awesome. Like 2 years later, he was like, yeah, we had a falling out. He just told me to lie about all of that, and none of it happened.
Listen, I choose to believe Frank Dux. I choose to ignore all the facts. I just want to think that this actually happened, and that a guy that looks a lot like Jean-Claude Van Damme took, I don't know, 6 months off of blowing up oil refineries in Iraq for the CIA.
Yeah.
To go over there and just beat the shit out of everybody in the world.
I don't even care about like Bloodsport's an awesome movie. Who cares? I like Frank Dux, the liar, because he just can't stop lying. He here's a couple other things.
He does look a little bit like Billy.
Yeah, that's true. We dealt with someone like this. So he sold his Kumite sword in a failed attempt to buy freedom of a boat of orphans, whom he later rescued from the pirates. He stopped a plot to assassinate Steven Seagal. These are all Frank Dux, what he has said.
I love that, because he's basically saying like, I am so powerful at martial arts that I'm the only one who can defend Steven Seagal.
Yes, and then that the discrepancies in his martial arts history are the work of fabrications by his rivals. And I read a ton of stories about this guy last night. He fucking rules because he's just so delusional. Apparently, he got in a fight at a like karate like expo with another karate guy, and he got his ass kicked. And then after he got his ass kicked, like many people saw it happen. People were like, yeah, Frank Dux got his ass kicked. He's like, well, that guy had brass knuckles and he sucker punched me.
Yeah, it's dirty.
And everyone was like, well, no, we saw it and that's not what happened.
And then he
at all.
confiscated the tape like LeBron getting dunked on at his own camp.
It's awesome. He keeps lying about everything. Everything is made up. He's Frank Dux. I mean, Canadian hero. He's from Canada, but still Canadian-American hero.
So he's from Canada, served in the United States military.
He moved
Imagine how dumb those Somali pirates are to like kidnap somebody and then to make the ransom phone call to the most dangerous person on earth.
Yes, on Earth.
Yeah.
Literally on Earth.
Bad move.
Yeah, so I give Bloodsport a 5 balls. I love this movie. I'll always love this movie. I do want to see the remake where they just figure out all Frank Dux' lies and do like a making of Bloodsport.
We should get him on the show and then make a story. I mean, clearly there's a business model for like listening to his stories as truth and then making a movie about him.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? It's a movie.
Right. He's got a great imagination.
He's a great writer.
Yeah. I listened to an interview that he did, and he's great. He's kind of got a little Liver King in him, where you ask him a question and he just like answers a completely different question. And he's like, yeah, that's the point.
So he says that Tanaka brought him to Masuda, Japan, when he was 16 years old to get trained as a ninja. Mm-hmm. We haven't had enough movies about ninjas recently.
I know.
Nobody does ninjas anymore.
3 Ninjas, great movie. It was a 5 out of 5 for me. 5 balls.
I enjoyed it thoroughly. I was saying it earlier. I did procrastinate watching a little bit. It was a little bit late, and if there was an option to do it on 1.5 or 1.25 speed, I probably would have done it. But there wasn't, and I really enjoyed. I ended up being very happy. I was laughing. I thought the lady, whose job it is to expose how heinous this event is. When he was blind and jumping around, she was laughing, having the time of her life.
Yes.
She went from this is a heinous event that I need to expose and blow up to rooting for John Van Damme and laugh, having a good time.
It's Bloodsport.
And the 4 spin kicks in a row.
Incredible.
That was excessive.
What a move. What a move.
You can stop 3, but you can't stop 4.
How can you draw power 4 in a row?
Did you see him training? No. When Tanaka had him in just the torture chamber with ropes.
That Princess Bride, that was just I don't know when Princess Bride came out, but that was a thing of that time.
Yeah,
because that was the same machine.
Yeah,
you know
just
what?
The stretcher.
One of the Braveheart
that's
too.
good about
did.
Max is on Max. You can watch it while you're doing other things on your phone too.
Yeah,
and this is the perfect movie to watch in the background of anything else.
It's so good. Also, shout out Frank Dux because I did forget to mention that he is much like Lenny Dykstra, 320 wins and 1 loss. And then he actually corrected it in an interview 10 years after, saying it's actually 329 wins, 0 losses.
Mm-hmm. How did that 1 loss get out there in the first place?
Well, he said it.
Okay.
He said his record was 321 wins, 1 loss, and 7 draws. Where it's similar to Lenny Dykstra, hey, if you throw in the 1 loss, people got to believe it.
He definitely misspoke.
And then he just changed his record to actually 329 and 0.
Also, we're just a Forrest Whitaker podcast.
Yeah.
It's 2 in a row.
Forrest Whitaker, just great. Him falling into the water.
Also, them and the fucking journalists, their whole mission was to stop this thing. They got to the event and were like, you know what? We came.
He doesn't understand Bloodsport.
He
doesn't understand Bloodsport.
Why didn't they try to stop him?
Because it's Bloodsport. You can't stop Bloodsport.
They showed up.
It's the greatest thing in the world.
Their whole job was to fly to this fucking event to stop him from fighting. They get to the fight and they sit front row and are cheering him on.
Because Hank, you get caught up in the show.
Yeah,
I get
it's
that.
No, I don't think you do.
He doesn't get it.
You think the journalist was going to stop Bloodsport with an article that was going to come out 4 months later because it's 1988?
I just thought it was funny. She was laughing. It was you're supposed to have this stance of you just watch the guy die.
Yeah.
And then she's sitting there oh, he's blind. Ha ha ha. This guy just snapped a guy's neck 20 minutes ago.
You know what they're signing up for?
I guess.
Hank shows up to Bloodsport and someone's got a runny nose. He's like, stop the fight.
I don't think he's got a concussion.
Yeah. Oh, we got to protect the
players. Who do you think was the favorite in the final?
Chung Lee.
We got to put him in protocol.
Yeah, Chung Lee was big time favorite. PFT would have made an investment in Chung Lee.
Yeah, it was probably minus 2,000. I mean, he killed 2 guys, Hank.
Yeah. Max, you hated it.
No, it was fine. It was just
he hated it. He told me he hated it.
It's just one of those movies that you have it on and you're on your phone and
No.
You lose the plot. You lose the plot.
It's the easiest plot in the world.
Max,
there is no plot.
Big men fight each other.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, you know the plot, but it's you're not paying attention. I mean, it is in that sense. It was all right, I can look up, watch some fighting. I do love. I kept saying it. I love Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah,
Ray Jackson.
He does look like
he's Ben Roethlisberger.
Ben Roethlisberger mixed with mankind.
Yeah,
he's great. He goes up, just a ridiculous move. He goes up to that girl on the bus. He's like, "You ever been with a big man before?"
Yeah.
I actually think if this movie was more realistic, he would win.
Yeah,
he was so much bigger than
just
everybody
smashing everyone.
Well, he celebrated too early. That was.
And then Chung Lee did too. Chung Lee did a little celebration.
Foreshadowing.
Again, foreshadowing. They make sure they get that.
If we did Bloodsport today, if the Saudis put together a big investment, said we're going to do the Last One to Live tour, and we're going to bring people across the globe to compete, I still think Steven Seagal might win.
Yeah, agreed. Or Jean-Claude.
To this day.
Yeah.
Arnold?
Frank Dux. Well, actually, real Frank Dux.
That's true.
I mean, he's never lost.
He would say that he won.
He's never lost. I love that they found the trophy. It was just a random trophy shop. He was just like, hey, here it is. Guy rules.
He's kind of a legend, actually.
Yeah. for a different reason than what. Like, he's a legend because he lied about all this stuff, and they made a fucking movie about him.
Big Cat, what if everything he said was true, and you're just buying into the fake news media?
It's true. No,
like there are people out to discredit him because the CIA, if they created a super soldier like that, they could not acknowledge it.
That's true.
We don't want our enemies to know that we've got a dozen Frank Dukes that are stationed in Fort Bragg right now.
Yeah.
Ready to be deployed at the drop of a hat.
They had he produced a picture of his medals and stuff, and the Army was like, "You're a Marine. You claim to be a Marine." So he said he had a Medal of Honor. Mm-hmm. He had a Medal of Honor from the Army, and all of his awards were out of order. Mm-hmm. So he was like, "Well, I don't know why they put it that way." And then like a couple years later, he's like, "Well, it was a costume I was wearing. Like it was a Halloween costume. It wasn't my actual picture.
I was actually putting on a Halloween costume of a soldier who's less decorated than I am in real life. So I didn't know how to put on all those inferior awards."
He just keeps putting up shots.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Frank Dux, come on the podcast. We'll just ask him all the questions. See how crazy he'd be. All right, so let's do Firefest. Max.com. Go check out Max.com. Awesome movie. Go watch.
Idea.
What are we doing next week?
We're doing 38 at the Garden, right?
Jeremy Lin, Linsanity.
Sports.
Bloodsports. I had an idea. What if we did Bloodsport, but at a Rough and Rowdy? But it was an international Rough and Rowdy.
Yeah.
Like find the baddest human on the planet.
I'm down.
That's why they call it Bloodsport.
Yeah. Well, you still don't understand.
No, I literally wrote in my notes, light bulb went off.
Yeah,
when
you still don't get it.
That's why they call it Bloodsport.
You do not get it. Okay, let's do Firefest. Go check out Max.com. Yeah, 38 at the Garden next week. Review on Friday's show. Very excited. Jeremy Lin. Okay, Hank, Firefest.
Last night, late there, I went to a driving range, and it's like 25 minutes away from me. I've gone enough that I've memorized the route. I don't even need the directions. And on the way back, the road to get on to, the highway I needed to get on was closed for construction. So it took me on a detour. I pulled out my phone, put in, and then I didn't even look at it. I just clicked it, was listening to Google directions, said it was 30 minutes away. I was like, that makes sense. Drove 30 minutes. It took me to the same address deep in New Jersey.
Ooh,
like a different town.
I hate when that happens.
And it was because I was on a detour, so I wasn't, I didn't really know that I wasn't going the right way. I was just kind of, usually don't go this way, follow directions, don't look up. And then I was getting close, like you're 5 minutes away. I was like, I don't feel like I know where I am at all.
Yeah.
And then I looked it up, and I was a solid 50 minutes away from my destination, which is in total like 20 minutes away.
Have you guys ever done that in an Uber?
Yep.
But you're so ashamed that as you're getting close,
I talked about it on the show once.
You don't say anything. I've done that actually in New Jersey before. I was going someplace, and then I realized when I was maybe 5 minutes away, I'm 40 minutes away from where I need to be, and I was just so ashamed that I was like, okay, yeah, this is it. You can let me out here.
Yeah, I started going over the Brooklyn Bridge once, and I was like, well, I was going to Manhattan.
Yeah.
Like, this is not correct.
You feel like such an idiot.
Yeah.
You can't say anything.
Yeah.
You can't.
So that was,
Too much pride.
yeah, that was just a long detour.
Yeah. Okay. PFT.
My Firefest of the week is that I forgot about darts.
Yeah.
I forgot about darts. Darts is this weekend. I've got tickets to it, so I'm going to go with the boys to go see darts at MSG. Going to be incredible. But
what's the Firefest?
Well, the big Firefest, Hank, is that when it's darts time, when it's darts weekend, all the boys get dressed up to go to darts. You put on an awesome costume. You wear a tracksuit.
I feel like your day-to-day outfits like kind of are
Shut
on
the
brand
fuck
for
up,
darts.
man.
I'm
Shut
dead
the fuck up.
serious.
You just
I'm
put on-
dead serious.
What am I
You're
wearing
wearing
right now?
black, blue, and red.
No, I'm not. I'm wearing dark blue Rowback pants. They're a great sponsor. I'm wearing Mountains Are Blue.
Those are dark
polo
blue?
shirt. Yeah.
Those look black.
Get your eyes fixed, Hank. These are dark
No,
blue.
those are not.
They might be dark
There's
blue.
no
Okay, so
way.
all right,
They
so
might be
even
dark
if they
blue.
are black, then I'm wearing black and blue, which is totally normal.
And red?
But I was supposed to wear.
And orange shoes.
All right, cut it out.
I'm just saying.
What are you doing here?
PFT, I have something for you though, because I was gonna go to darts,
Yeah.
but I realized I just can't. Max also is not going to darts, which sucks.
What?
He let everyone down. Yeah.
Why not?
How is Max not going to
I don't know
darts?
how this is coming up on this show.
Max-
Well,
Yeah.
he said he's going to
I'm
darts.
going to darts.
Yeah, well,
I know that you're not
I've
going
been,
to darts.
I've been defending myself for the past 24 hours.
I've
Now
had
I
this
just have-
plan for the last 6 months that I'm going to darts.
Yeah, I know. You're gonna take my spot. I'm willing to hand over the title as Dart Father to you.
No, I already bought. You're not giving me the spot. I bought my own ticket.
I know, but I'm giving you Dart Father. The title of Dart Father.
Did you buy a ticket, Max?
Yes, I'm not going.
Why not?
Because it's a long.
He doesn't
thing.
like darts
You don't
anymore.
like
That's
darts?
not true.
Said,
I'm
yeah.
moving.
You're not a needlehead.
I'm moving this weekend.
I thought you moved on Wednesday.
No, but I have all of the things.
He's living out of his car right
I'm living
now.
out of my car right now, and I'm paying so much money for my car to be in this city. I need to take all of the things that are in my car, drop it off at my parents', and we're recording late tomorrow, or we have an interview late tomorrow. I'm not going to get down to like 10, and I don't feel like waking up.
These are a lot of words to say that you don't like darts.
No.
Either way,
and-
Max is
and-
a pussy. He doesn't like darts anymore. PFT, I was
love
going to
darts.
go to darts, but I really can't. But I did buy a shirt that you can wear. It's a double XL,
Yeah.
and it says it's got 2 dartboards where the breasts are. It says, "Stop looking at my boards."
Okay.
Doesn't even make sense.
I
It's
like
like
that.
a pun or anything.
I like that.
Boards mean no one says boards for tits, but it's great.
I might. You know what? I've got in the office right now.
I'd like you to wear that shirt.
I've got.
Can you wear
I
that
might wear
shirt?
2 shirts because I've got the one that says I got my ass eaten at the Bass Pro Shop Pyramid in Memphis, Tennessee.
That's not darts.
That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good shirt though.
But you got to wear a darts shirt. You can have my darts shirt.
Yeah.
It's gonna look great.
So you guys aren't going? No one in this room's going.
I just don't think I can.
I have a wedding.
You're gonna miss darts for a wedding.
I may still go, but
I've
let's
got an
be
extra.
honest, I probably
I've
won't.
got an extra ticket. Yeah.
Last year when I went, I put in that future thinking it was the day of, and it cashed 8 months later. So,
So you won money.
Can you give me a pick for darts?
Van Gerwen or Smith?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I think
gonna
it's
ride.
Michael Smith. Might be Michael Van Gerwen.
Yeah.
though.
Max. does
What about
not-
pants?
Max
What
does
am I
not
gonna wear
like darts
for darts pants? You gotta have Fyre darts pants.
Yeah.
Hank, do you have those pants that make you look like a
Train conductor pants.
a cartoon train engineer?
I actually got rid of those. I wish
Oh.
I should have given them to you.
Max, did your pants make the move?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The pants are already in storage.
What if I give you a pair of pants that I brought? You can puke on them real quick, and then I'll just wear those.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I never puked on pants.
That's actually true.
Fake news.
You puked into the water bottle, and
a
some of
little
the water
bit- and a
bottle
little bit on
spilled
my
onto your
shirt.
shirt.
Just a
in the
little bit
cab.
on my
Yep,
shirt.
Okay, that's fair. I'm sorry.
All right, my Fire Fest pretty simple. I ate 20 pieces of bread yesterday, and I have felt full for 24 hours.
Carb loading
and
for darts.
Also, there was a video of me, and I look comically fat, and Booger's bullying me again. I'm just gonna go on Ozempic. I don't fucking care. I'm gonna do it.
Is that the shot?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna tell everyone I'm gonna do it, and then I'm gonna look hot, and then I'll get off of it, and then I'll gain it all back. What does it matter?
You could cool sculpt.
I could cool sculpt.
Shave that in some abs.
Dude, I mean, Charles Barkley's doing the Majura or whatever. He's getting skinny as fuck.
Booger's quote was, "You don't look fat, my brother. You are fat.
Yeah.
Make sure you correct those who say the wrong thing."
It's angles though.
Yeah.
It's
No,
angles.
no, there was also the problem. Someone was like, I've never seen
This
someone.
video is insane.
They're like, I've never seen someone look fat in a black t-shirt.
No, this video is insane.
It's really bad.
What about the
PFT.
Spanx?
I wasn't wearing Spanx because I had to eat the bread.
This looks like you're wearing one of those skin tight like Under Armour shirts, but it's not.
It's so bad. My belly was so far. I couldn't suck in my belly because I had so much bread in it, and then my tits and
Hank
everything.
should shut up
It
right
looks
now.
like you're
He
wearing
doesn't-
a
he doesn't get
wetsuit.
it.
I know. I'm just.
No.
I didn't see this video that Booger. I saw Booger's quote, but yeah, it looks like you're wearing. You're going surfing.
Okay, Hank, we got it. We got the picture. Guy who doesn't understand Bloodsport.
No, that's why they call it Bloodsport.
No, you don't know why it's called Bloodsport. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do Ozempic.
Do it.
Why not?
What if you get too skinny though?
You
You can't do Jonah Hill. You can't.
No, what I was gonna do is I'm gonna do Ozempic for like 2 months, drop like 25 pounds, and then just slowly gain it back.
Okay.
'Cause then it
that's
doesn't
one strat.
feel
yeah,
as,
well,
you know-
Be skinny for the summer, and then football season, all bets are off.
Right, but I'll always get fat again. But just my problem is I am incapable of getting skinny again, so I need to help.
I'm going to say something nice about Chicago. People there aren't as big as I thought they'd be. But the thing is, like across the board, they're like 5% bigger.
Yeah.
Which is healthy because
Yeah.
in New York, everyone's 15% too small.
Yeah, they're chic. Yeah, the models in New York, it's gross.
People not jaywalk in Chicago.
Yeah, they do.
Okay,
Why?
because you know sometimes in New York it's common.
Well, New York is like there is no
Right,
laws
like when a
with
car's not coming, people cross the
Yeah,
street.
yeah.
I did that in Chicago. No one followed me, and the people on the other side where I was walking towards were giving me a look, and I was like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that.
I
Badass.
think people might not jaywalk in
I think
Chicago."
New York is just like
Boston,
if you,
too.
If you go to Williamsburg, like people don't even recognize cars.
You also-
they just walk in front of your car while you're driving.
You run into that one person at every crosswalk that, like, you step out a little bit into the street, while you still have the don't walk sign, and somebody goes out like 2 yards further than you.
Yes.
And stands and waits like in the middle of traffic.
Yes.
For the light to change.
I actually had
the
a
worst
very
jaywalking city in America.
an extra Fyre Fest. Went to the Central Park Zoo with my kids on Saturday, and we were leaving, and my son like stepped a little bit into the street, and I yelled at him very forcefully, like, get back on the sidewalk. And there was a UPS delivery woman standing next to him, and she was like, what did you just say to me? I was like, wait, that wasn't for you. She thought I was yelling at her.
When you started that off with, I went to the zoo and my young son got too close, and so I thought we were going to have another Harambe situation.
No, Central Park Zoo, all the fucking animals are asleep.
Yeah.
It was terrible. They were all fucking asleep. What were you listening to, Max? Something about darts sucking?
Yeah, I just got tagged in a clip. I'm getting shots from all directions about not going to darts.
darts. Can I
be-
There's another show that's talking about me not going to darts.
Can I be the temporary dart father?
I just said I want you to have the title of the dart father.
What's involved in being dart father?
You just have to walk
have
like
to
a
walk-
bushwhacker.
Well, it's not
You have to walk
temporary.
like darts.
You
And
can't
then
just, you can't just give it up and come back.
It's like,
so, okay, so
No.
I,
no,
you can't
I'm not
just-
taking it back.
I
I'm
do a
getting-
big
I'm getting
march.
it.
Yeah.
yeah,
this?
like the bushwhackers.
like
Yes.
bushwhacker, like the guy
Yeah.
from Ohio State that leads the band out.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And
Yeah, I
you have
can
to
do
say
that.
I'm very fired up for darts, and then you just have to start a chant going in to the stadium just saying darts. So
Yeah.
darts.
And then whoever you bet on has to finish
darts,
second in the
darts,
championship
darts.
match.
Well, that would have to be Hank passing over that torch.
Oh, true.
Oh wait, no. Wait, not second. Hank betting on something that took a year.
Yeah, true.
How-
But you,
But
if you-
it hit. But it's still you.
So you have to go and make a winning bet.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll go make a winning bet. Max, I have one more dart related question for you because you seem to be an expert on it despite hating
180.
it. How drunk should I be going to darts?
Too drunk.
Too drunk.
If
Okay.
you think you're too drunk, you need to be more.
If I think I'm too drunk, I'm not drunk enough yet.
Correct.
Okay,
That
got
is
it.
correct.
I'll drink my way
There's
through being
also,
drunk.
although I'm a little worried. It's turned into a whole thing. This year, there's going to be cameras everywhere.
it's gotten.
It's
too-
going to be. It's too mainstream for me. That's also.
Oh
why-
yeah,
why
sure.
I'm
That's
not
why
going.
you're not going.
You like
Yeah.
darts before everyone else
Yeah,
liked darts.
yeah, and now you're just hopping on the bandwagon.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
But you're
sure.
still the dart father.
Well, I bought tickets last year. I couldn't go.
Yeah. All right. Great show. See everyone Monday. Numbers. 69.
18.
Billy was so mad.
He that's the thing about Billy is he genuinely gets angry.
Yeah.
If somebody takes his little sex joke ball.
Right. It's great. We got to start doing that all the time. We got to take it every time because it's he was like pre-raging
Yeah.
in the studio like because it's crazy. But
17.
69. What did you take?
I took 18
Okay.
for Jake.
Max?
20.
$49.
Oh, I said no.
That would have been awesome. All right, everyone have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
Love you guys. All bears are fucking hairy and cool.
A shark has never ran a marathon.
I don't think it was public. He said if I was in knee-high water, I could beat up a shark.
He
Dead
said that?
serious. Yeah.
Knee high?
I wouldn't even. I could be.
Yeah.
I could be in the fucking depths of the ocean. I'd
Or
beat up a
waist
shark.
high.
Yeah, I'd be in the Marianas Trench. Fucking fuck up a shark.